Think he's here. Yeah, he's here. All right, chat. W's. Hype up. Hype up ADAM22. I'm about to get the door. Hype it up. He's fucking taking a piss in my bathroom, but I Clorox wiped it before, so. Yo, Cass had my bathroom. My roommate got my bathroom dirty as fuck. I cleaned it just for Adam, man. Clorox wiped the floor. I got the rugs washing in the bathroom right now. What's good, Adam?
What's going on?
You watching it all?
Just the podcast on Tuesdays, and then I play poker on stream once in a while. And
on YouTube, you can get banned for that. Apparently,
dude, but it's fucked up because all right, you're not supposed to be able to get banned for playing poker on stream, right? Because there's a lot of like professional poker players who do this. This is their whole thing. But I have a fucking strike warning on No Jumper because I streamed poker one time, and they haven't been able to get rid of it, even though they agree with me that that's not.
I feel like you would have a YouTube Connect by now.
I do, but he really, he just left. So now I gotta get another one. And then also.
Uh-oh, I'm echoing. Oh, my bad.
Shit.
I have my camera audio on. You saying?
Oh, just like, I had a YouTube rep, and he was fucking sick for a while. And they just told me they left to go do something else. So I'm like, now I gotta try to figure out getting another one. Did he ever really do that much in the first place?
Not really. You're one of the OGs, though. I figured you would have had like an employee. You know how long, chat, how long have you been watching No Jumper? I've been watching your podcast. I told you since the XFX Tentacion interview, which was
2016.
Yeah. That's a long time. That's 6 years now.
Yeah.
I remember watching you before you had face tats. I remember when you got the Lisa one, and then you had the cross. Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember seeing you getting it detailed more.
Oh yeah, I think I got it enlarged at one point. That's a good point.
And then I remember you doing vlogging your acid trip on the mountain on a hike.
Yeah, that was the last time I did acid. People always ask me like, "You still do acid?" And I'm like, "Nah, I just fucking." I felt like that was all I needed.
It's a little bit overrated, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's like, yeah, it's cool because it kind of like gives you that new perspective on life. But I kind of feel like I'm in a position where I just like already know what I'm doing and I need to work hard to like accomplish it.
So there's no need for a psychedelic trip to reevaluate it.
Well, like at that time, I kind of felt like I was really like driving myself crazy trying to figure out like what the fuck I was doing with my life, you know? And doing acid seemed like it was kind of maybe helpful because it, you know, that shit, you've done it?
Yeah, many times.
Oh, dude.
Many times. The last like 4 times were really bad trips.
Right.
I did not enjoy that at all.
Yeah. Really? The last 4?
The last 4. But I like it in the first place because I think bad trips can be progressive because you're tripping, and if you have a bad time, there's something that you're not confronting that you have to confront.
Yeah, but dude, I done acid 2 times. So the first time, I had these girls I was kicking it with, and they were like hippie chicks or whatever, which, you know, I've always been pretty good at like ignoring the parts of a girl's personality that I don't like to focus on their vagina, you know?
Yep.
So like, it was really easy for me to like put the stupid shit she was saying out of my head, right? And then we take acid together.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like...
You can't ignore it.
Yeah, I'm like, you're just talking about like rocks and the power of these rocks.
Crystals.
And yeah, I couldn't handle it. And, you know, I just remember like we cuddled in bed. We didn't even bang. And then the next... But the good part was that I had Xanax on deck. So I popped the Xanax.
Canceled the trip?
Yeah, I canceled it out. Boom, I went to bed. I felt great the next morning. The other time I did acid, I stayed up until like 9 in the morning, just like laying in bed, staring at the ceiling, like worrying and hating life.
You still pop pills a lot?
No.
I mean, there was some times where I was really into Juice WRLD. I could see you in the background. It seemed like you were off of 60 or something.
Nah, I never did any drugs with him. I was done that shit by the time I fucking started hanging out with him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You want a Red Bull? I bought you one. Oh,
yeah, I got the fucking sugar-free one.
Nice. Very smart.
Nah, but I was honestly like, I remember we had like a crazy fucking orgy in Miami one time. Like, I went to Miami with like a bunch of porn stars, and we went to Club Live. We're popping mollies. We're doing coke and shit. And like, you know, I'm the only guy, and I go home with them. And it's like me and 5 girls, and I ended up fucking the shit all of them. But
all 5? No Viagra?
Nah. And coke is like anti-Viagra.
How did you stay at... How old were you?
It was like 4 years ago, maybe. I was like 34, maybe.
How the fuck?
I don't know. My shit just stands up. But
even on coke?
Yeah. Well, you can't do too much.
What's your diet?
At that time, I don't know. Normal shit. Like what I ate today. I fucking...
Do you exercise?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not like, I mean, it's not really working that great, but that's what I want to do after this. I want to like do 4 months hardcore training and eating like really good body transformation. I want to be that type of loser on social media.
You want to be the spiritual guy.
I mean, I just feel like I fuck spirits, but I just want to I want to look better. Like, I feel like everybody kind of looks at me like I should. Like, that's like, you know, like Myron couldn't sit around and tell everybody like how to live their fucking life if he was a fat ass, right?
Talking about the fresh and fit guy?
Yeah. Like, I just feel like you got to
look the part.
If Andrew Tate was fat, I don't think people are trying to hear it.
No.
Because it just is like, it kind of shows that you're not fully in control of whatever the fuck you're doing on a daily basis.
Yeah, I want to get less skinny so that people can take what I say more seriously. I don't like the fact that people can have anything to critique me for that goes against the message I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel that.
Is that the reason you grew your hair out? There was like a period of like 5 years I thought you were bald.
I had 2 hair transplants.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I had no idea.
Yeah, I got one when I was young, when I was like 28. Like right when I moved to Long Beach, I like fucking, my hair was starting to go up and I was just like, fuck it, let's do it. I'm gonna do it. I spent like $4,000. They cut a big ass strip out the back of my head, did it. Then fast forward like 5 or 6 years and it like started to look kind of whack. Like you could see that the hair was receding past the point where I put the plugs in, you know? And so I like got it done again. So I got a bunch of fucking fake hair up here, but honestly, I would do it. I would do it again. I kind of want to.
They're all saying L drugs, breathe air, L drugs. My chat is very like drug free, be the best you could be.
I agree. I mean, like, because honestly, like my biggest regret when I think about it is just that I wish I had the confidence to just not drink. Maybe try it out a little bit, but like I kept doing it like past the point where I feel like I knew it wasn't for me, but I just kept doing it because A, chicks want to do it, and B, I don't know, all my homies wanted to do it all the time. So I just kind of like,
people you're around.
I just feel like I wasted a lot of time in my life.
It's a big waste of time.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid as shit. It's like the biggest thing. Like even today when we're out riding with those dudes and like I'm seeing a bunch of them just cracking beers at every spot. And I just like, maybe you totally got it under control and it's all good. But like to me, that just stands out as like
degeneracy.
I mean, you're just, I don't know, like what are you fucking trying to do? You're just trying to forget everything going on. But I mean, I smoke a little bit of weed like during the day. I'll smoke a couple spliffs throughout the day, but I don't really like, I don't know.
I was weed for 9 years and I quit it recently when I started streaming.
Yeah. For streaming, I think that's a great idea because
you need to be high energy. You need to be engaged, and then you get like thinking too much, and then one person calls you ugly, and then you're like, "Am I ugly?" And then you're just going through this thought loop, and you're also live, and there's 3,000 other people in there.
Yeah, I feel that definitely.
What is it like, bro? There's so much stuff that I could ask you.
Yeah, whatever you want.
So were you XXXTentacion's manager?
So basically, I did the interview with him super fucking early on. Like, Look at Me only had 1 million plays on SoundCloud. We do the interview, and then we keep talking. He gets locked up soon after that, but we keep talking on the phone and shit. And like, he told me, "Yo, go on Twitter and say you're my manager." And so I'm like,
"Oh, so you were a fake manager?"
Right, because in my head, when he said he wanted me to be his manager, I'm thinking, I'm going to talk to my lawyer. I'm going to figure out how to get these contracts in order. I'm going to fucking figure out what the fuck a manager is supposed to do, which I get now, but at that time I really didn't get it. But he's also locked up. So it's like, it would have been, like when I look back on it now, I'm like, damn, that was like a pretty killer opportunity. But then also at the same time, like, I just totally wasn't ready for it. You know, like the dude who ended up managing him actually had like experience in the game. I was like brand new to even being in the game. That's what's fucked up is that people like don't realize that I started doing rapper podcasts and then like 6 months later I interviewed X and had no fucking clue. He was just like one of like 100 other
SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah, and then like it became like this insane thing. So it's like a lot of times, sometimes people ask me, like people who do YouTube and stuff, they'll be like, I feel like you became like such a big thing in hip hop and like how do I get there? And I'm kind of like, when I really think about it, I'm like, it just kind of happened. But also it's like I had one interview that became like the biggest rap interview of all time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that,
I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, like you could do 100 good interviews that get, 500,000 views or whatever, and then you get one interview with 20 million views and that'll do more for you than like 1 billion fucking decent interviews. It's just that just kind of like catapulted me into a situation that I like totally wasn't ready for.
A lot of people are saying you're a Freemason. Is that true?
No, I don't even know what that
I don't know.
is.
Yeah, they've been spamming that. I think it's just a lot of these people are getting into conspiracies a lot now because it's hate.
Yeah.
And they think, right now they probably think that this was set up. A lot of people are like wondering if this is pre-recorded.
Really?
Yeah, these conspiracy people have really. Have you heard about gematria? There's these people that really it's getting crazy.
You heard about Jenkum?
What is that?
You're gonna love it.
Put me on.
It's basically like at some point in history there was a bunch of kids in Africa who started like pissing and shitting into like buckets, and then they would like let it ferment, and then they would like walk up and like take a little like sniff or like really give it a good inhale, and then they would get fucked up off the jankum.
Off poop?
I mean, I don't even know if this is real, honestly, but they used to like, there's some like videos about it and shit. I think it kind of might have been like a old wives' tale or something, or just like a conspiracy that somebody cooked up.
What do you know about rappers that most people don't know? Working behind the scenes, like, was X really as spiritual? A lot of we reacted to a lot of like X's interviews where he's talking about like seeing cats in other dimensions,
right?
And you know, incidental meditation. Transcendental meditation.
He was wild because he definitely had this like super inquisitive mind where like I could talk to him on the phone for like 3 hours and I would just start telling him shit that I had heard on, you know, because I'm already like older at the point that we become cool, and I start telling him about all these different concepts that I'm hearing about on fucking philosophy podcasts and stuff to do with politics and all this stuff. So we were having these like crazy deep conversations, but he's really hearing me, and he's super like, he was in such a rush to like become a really savvy, educated adult type shit, you know? At
a young age.
Yes.
At a really, really young age.
And that was the crazy thing about him too, is like the other thing I didn't say is that when he wanted me to be his manager, it's like he was nuts. He was like so out of control. Like
getting fights on a regular basis.
Wilding, fighting, crazy, you know, like there's a million stories from that time in his life, and like I don't think I would have really I noticed about myself that I always like avoid putting myself in situations where I'm not in charge, which I don't necessarily think is the best thing, because I think in reality
that's what most guys want to do, right?
I think that they want to, yeah, but like I feel like I've never put myself into a situation where I wasn't kind of like steering the ship, and the reason why I would say it's not necessarily the best thing is because like, okay, if you're somebody who's trying to come up in the game, like the best thing you could do is find somebody who's really successful and tell them that you can help them, get in there, you know, work with them, whatever. That's going to be like the easiest way for you to get in front of a lot more people, is by finding somebody big and kind of working with them. Or like a ton of people I know who are super popular now are basically like people who got into streaming or Instagram or whatever by like
someone else
being like an unpaid intern for another streamer, or
that
like
wasn't for you
doing timestamps for a podcast. No, I mean, honestly, like I was like a criminal doing credit card fraud and shit. Nice. And then kind of transitioned into playing online poker from like 2004 to like 2006, 2007. But along the way, I like started this BMX website, didn't know anybody in the game. The website just blows up. And then I do that for like 10 years. And towards the end of that, I was like kind of getting sick of doing the BMX thing. And I was already on YouTube doing vlogs and shit like that. And I was like, you know, I want to do podcasts with all these BMX riders. So I started interviewing all these riders. And then all of a sudden, like, I know rappers, like underground rappers pretty much, and they're kind of hitting me up like, would you do my first interview? And then I kind of just like slowly fell into doing more hip hop content, basically.
There's nothing you know about the rap game that most people don't know? What can you tell us about the truth about rappers? You know, we've met pretty much all of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, like you overheard the conversation we were having earlier.
Yo, they rappers, man, like
there's some rappers.
I heard that Jeffree Star fucks a lot of the rappers. I don't want to say who told me that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what you were talking about today, like, was pretty similar. But a lot of these rappers be on some shit.
I know some rappers who are sucking dick. I'm not gonna name and shame. I heard it. I believe it. It's cool. I'm not judging you for it. A lot of them are dudes who are fucking the hottest chicks too. So I mean, shit. I mean, they're legends in both games. They're legends in pussy and they're legends in dick. But
no homo, they're slipping on semen.
I mean, definitely there's some dudes doing that, which is, you know, I'm not against that at all.
Do you think it's some industry shit? Do you think that?
Nah, but I've heard that of like, oh, this dude's gay because he like had to be gay to get into the industry. I never heard that. I honestly feel like a lot of dudes, they get rich, they get power, they start to like really open their mind. Like, what is gonna make me happy? What's actually the thing that's gonna make me happy? Oh, I fucked 5,000 girls. Maybe I want to slip a dick in there. I mean, I feel like that's how their mind works, is that like once you've had...
Maybe the industry's just weird. It just makes you become a weirdo. Maybe, but you get convinced of that.
Okay, this is what... People in the podcast or in the chat, they, even the most successful dudes in the chat and shit, probably have fucked like less than 50 girls, right? Maybe 100 girls.
I would say most people in here less than 5.
Right, yeah. Well,
90%.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But...
let's be honest, though.
Let's be real. Like, their mind is taken up by like, how do I keep getting more pussy? I feel like some guys get so much pussy that they're like, well, shit.
Might as
Dicks. Well. I ain't had a dick yet. I don't know. But then a lot of broke people are gay, I guess, too, on the low.
Okay, besides sucking dick.
Right.
How do you think most rappers go from C-list level to A-list level? What's that transition? Because most of them sound the same to a certain extent. Like, a lot of it is connections. A lot of it is the right feature, the right beat.
It's hard to come as a rapper these days because really people aren't trying to hear it. Like, they just really honestly, like, if you look, like, the rap game is dead right now, for the record. Like, been along, like, I came in on the SoundCloud wave, right? It's like a new fucking rapper every 2 weeks, every 3-4 weeks. There's a fucking new Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, X, Juice WRLD, Lil Peep. It's like over and over and over, all these new artists. And now I feel like, I mean, who the fuck even came out this year that people are excited about? Like, it's just very slow.
That XXL list was terrible. That was like the worst one I've ever seen.
I mean, and you know what it is though? Like the dudes that people fuck with are like street artists, so they're like actual killers and like actual gang members and shit. Not always, but
and their
like,
music's good, and then they get locked up or
and they're talking about real shit, but then they all get locked up or they all get killed. And then, you know, so there's just like a massive like gulf in the game of nothing. And that's why I think that somebody like Drake is like, I'm gonna make this totally different fucking crazy ass dance album, because clearly like Drake put out Certified Lover Boy and I don't feel like it really made that much noise because I don't know, people just don't really seem like they're hyped on like hearing rap right now. I feel like, you know, the game is just like waiting for somebody to come in and drop some crazy shit and do something new and change everything because shit is so stale right now. That's how I feel.
It's getting faster and quicker. It's kind of emulated social media.
Yeah, rappers are memes, dude. And it took people a long time to realize that like, and you know, there are enduring memes, but for the most part, I feel like, you know, a rapper comes out, he's got a weird voice and he's got a cool haircut and he's got some fancy clothes. And then like, you know, people are kind of obsessed with it for a little while and then they just move on as soon as like they get sick of your voice. You know, it's just like, I mean, it's just even the expectation that a lot of those SoundCloud rappers would have a multi-year career was, in retrospect, insane. Do you think
a lot of rap music now is demonic? I would say a lot of the drill music is just straight up like, I'm gonna kill you. I killed him and fuck your mom and your life. I hope that you die. Over a beat. It's just wishing murder and celebrating and yelling out dead people. That shit is really demonic. And gangsta rap used to have like some clever bars, but it's just straight up murder confessions now.
Right. And I feel like I get what the people are attracted to about that because I like listening to King Von, and part of the reason why I like listening to King Von is kind of know he's gonna say some crazy demonic ass shit about somebody's fucking life that he took. But I mean, what's the shelf life on that? When if King Von was still on the streets, he would be wanted for like multiple murders right now. Like there's all these murders that the Chicago PD says that they believe that he committed. You know, it's just like, I don't know. The shelf life on that shit is kind of short, and I mean,
what do you think about guys like Cardi and Uzi and Trippie Redd straight up doing like devil horns and worshiping and like making their album covers devil? If I look through the lyrics, a whole lot of red. It's kill me up, like the whole shit is murder, devil. Like the cover, when they go on stage, it's all this fucking satanic shit. A lot of people compare the concerts to satanic rituals, and I kind of see the comparison. Right? It's all aesthetics, but why is that the aesthetic that works? Why is rap music straight up satanic worship?
Right. Because
is it really that far?
Look, if all these rappers were actually like, hey, we have gotten interested in atheism or any religious belief, and like they actually like sincerely were like into that, then I would think that was cool. Like anyone, I'm an atheist. I feel like anyone who's curious, I feel like anyone who's curious about how the world works. I know you just hit me with a fucking sound.
Allahu Akbar sound effect.
Okay, but like that's cool. Like, but the fact that religion and like faith to rappers is reduced down to like, oh, this is an image that I'm going to use to make me look cool. Yeah, I think it's corny. Like the same way all these rappers want to be like, I'm punk rock. Everybody wants to say that Cardi's punk rock. Like, what are you talking about, bro? There's nothing punk rock.
He's just stealing the aesthetic from the 90s. He just
has tight pants and he like makes merch that like rips off old punk bands. Like there's nothing punk rock about that.
No.
The punk rock bands that were punk rock because they were doing something completely different, angry, energetic. That was totally like counterculture, wasn't affiliated with any like corporations or traditional, you know, label music, whatever, which isn't to say that bands aren't punk once they get on a label, but I just don't really even see what is punk at all.
But why is that the aesthetic? satanic. Why do you think that gets people so energized, and why does it sell so well? Why do they get to like put that in their album covers?
Because they want to be rock stars, right?
But rock stars weren't. Yeah, rock was
that's
always a little bit satanic.
But they don't, and that's what also kind of bothers me is that's like all these rappers will say they're rock stars and they'll wear an old fucking band shirt, but you never heard that band. And you don't know anything about what you're wearing, and it's all just like an image. And it's all, the whole idea of being a rock star is just like, oh, I'm gonna celebrate myself. Like, I'm special. I want to be the guy. It's not anything to do with any kind of like in-depth analysis of life. It's totally just aesthetics. I don't know. I think it's lame.
But you still interview them on a regular basis,
huh?
You still interview them
Sometimes. But
you're switching up. You're starting to interview more content creators, and people are asking. I saw that you're even starting a course on podcasting.
I was thinking about it. I got a lot to say. I gotta actually just sit down and fucking start writing that shit.
What do you think are some tips to get good at podcasting? Because I saw you were calling it an art, and I would agree. But I do think also thinking of it as an art takes away from it a little bit. Part of what makes it so good is that you need to make it seem really natural, while also appealing to an audience at the same time. And as soon as you give it too much esteem, then it's corny. I
mean, for me, my process like is basically like I just try to absorb myself into like watching that person's content for long periods of time. Like even I know I'm interviewing you in like a week, or less than a week. So I've just been watching a lot of your shit. I'm watching you argue with Destiny. I'm watching you argue whatever. Like I'm just searching, finding shit, watching your streams, whatever. Like just trying to really gain as nuanced a perspective as I can on you, because I don't want to do an interview where I'm just like, so where are you from? So, you know, like all this shit that we could kind of like get past easily because it's relatively surface level is like, that's what I want to do an interview that is not going to be like, oh, my fans get introduced to this guy Sneako. I want to do an interview that your fans are going to be like, oh, that was a dope interview, because that's an actual challenge, you know? And obviously I'm going to ask you shit that they already know the answer to, and like that kind of toes that line.
So you have questions prepared already?
I have like notes, like just like a word or a sentence.
How long does it take for it to drop? You're going to record it. So yo, Chad, tune in for that. I think August 23rd, I'm going to pull up to LA. I'm going to fly all the way to LA to do your podcast.
I'm high, thank you. But it takes me, if we have a ton built up, it might take like 2 weeks, but usually it'll take like a couple days.
Wow. But that's why like live streaming, it's just up. It's just there. It's up.
Yeah, we used to do this.
This is probably already on TikTok.
Oh yeah. We used to do the live interviews, but I felt like they just kind of got lost. I don't know. It's like I'm doing an interview at like 10 p.m. and everybody's like missing it in the sub feed. You make way less money off it. Like, do you? Everybody, off live stream stuff on YouTube.
Why? Ad revenue?
It's just like, okay, when we do the No Jumper streams on Tuesday, it's like a 2-hour live podcast. If it gets 300,000 views, we might make like $2,000. And if it was like just uploaded regular, we might make like $4,000. I think. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place.
They're saying that Uzi sold his soul, and I even noticed that he became a they them too. I wanted to hear more about that from you, because you've met Uzi. Definitely.
Yeah. It strikes me as a heterosexual, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
But he's a they them. He's rapping about his purse.
Before I even talk about Uzi, though, I want to talk about fucking what's her name, Demi Lovato.
Oh my god, they them for 2 weeks. This shit is nuts, and if you misgendered her, you can get deleted off social media.
Because look, I believe there are real trans people out there that really like I've met people in my life that I'm like, this dude was clearly born to be a chick or something. Like somehow the signals got crossed. Something like this guy is just like.
Chat WRL. I don't think so. I don't think you could become a man if you're a woman. I don't think you could cut your dick off. I just think people are a little confused, and maybe they're feminine, maybe they're just gay. But
okay, I agree that. Just the statement "trans women are women" is a lie, right? So let's just like get the
trans women are trans women.
Exactly. Thank you. Trans women are not biological women. They are, if you choose to, I will absolutely respect somebody if they want to live as a woman. Like, if you fucking told me tomorrow that this is just the real you and you're gonna rock a wig and get some titties put in, I mean, shit. If I respect you, or if you're just a person, I'm gonna respect that, right? Like, but. What were we talking about? Oh, the they, them. Yeah, right. No, because Demi Lovato, listen, like, you couldn't devise a better fucking plan to
Don't say L, you can't change your gender. But yeah.
Okay, can you change it? I don't know. Can you respect that somebody feels as if they are a certain thing to the extent that you can just give them the she? I think so.
Okay.
Just out of respect, like, okay, Blair White, she's trans, she's conservative, she was born a man. She clearly feels like she's a woman. I think she would acknowledge that she's not a biological woman and that trans women are not, like, by definition, women. But I'm going to hit her with the she, of course. I'm going to hit her with the her. Even though, you know, I don't fucking know the details of the situation, whatever. But, like, you know, like, if you feel that way, then I'm going to respect that, you know? If you told me tomorrow your name was Lloyd, and this is really important to you, I mean, no, that's some goofy shit. If you told me tomorrow your name was fucking Mohammed, I'm getting hella serious about my Muslim beliefs.
There you go.
I'm switching my whole shit up. I got poofy now, whatever. Hey, I'm not Muslim. I don't know much about it, but I'm gonna respect it.
You'll respect that.
It's like fucking, but whatever. Like, you couldn't devise a better thought experiment to make the average person not think that pronouns are a total fucking joke than Demi Lovato coming out claiming that she's a they them. All her fans and all these other trans people are on Twitter slamming people for not using the right pronouns, whatever. And then she takes it all back a couple months later. Bro, that is like the lack of respect that she clearly has for this culture that she's trying to represent and be a part of, to me, is just like,
it's an aesthetic.
Mind blowing. Yeah. Like,
it's a trend little thing. It's like an outfit accessory.
Yeah. Any trans person who's like, oh, like, take my pronouns more serious, they should be like, fucking look at Demi Lovato, dude. She's supposed to be a representative, but also, like, a real trans person is looking at her like a fucking jerk, right?
Yeah.
Because you're making a joke out of our fucking culture.
Real trans person.
You know, whatever. Somebody who really represents that culture. I'm sorry, like, you got to look at her like she's just done, like, very serious damage to what you're trying to accomplish.
Now that you're seeing all this weird stuff in the industry, talking about how, like, people are selling their souls to change their gender, they're using, like, these things as an aesthetic. Do you think it's better for people in the new generation who want to get involved in the entertainment industry? Is it better to become a rapper, an actor, or is it better to become a content creator?
I honestly think that if you, like, just want to be successful, it's like, if I knew some dude who just got out of fucking high school and doesn't want to go to college, whatever, and he just has a little bit of money to just, like, work on himself, I honestly think you should try everything, or, like, until you find something that you're really sure that this is the thing worth putting time into. Because, I mean, I've known a lot of rappers throughout the years who, like, maybe were even kind of doing decent as rappers, but to me it was just so obvious, like, you are not going to be a popular rapper. But if you fucking just took your ego down a few notches and realized that maybe you could be a good content creator, or maybe you could be a manager or something to a rapper, like help somebody who really has this, like, star power, that would be, like, a way better direction for you to go in. I feel like, and a lot of the more successful people I know are, like, failed rappers who at a certain point in their career realize, I'm not going to be the superstar who's rocking the crowd.
Give up.
But I can find an artist, or, like,
manage them,
tap in with an artist early on, and these guys become huge fucking millionaires because they'll sign a bunch of fucking poppin' artists, and, like, that, and then meanwhile they get to keep their privacy. Nobody knows who they fucking are. They get to have their girls and have their money and their drugs or whatever the fuck they're into, and they don't have to deal with all the fame and shit, because that shit hella overrated. I'm gonna be real with you.
They're asking if I could ask you more about Peep. I don't know how involved you were with Lil Peep.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, like, as close as I was with X, I guess you could say, but, like, definitely did those interviews early on. Used to just be going to parties in LA and would see him and stuff. I remember, like,
Xans.
Yeah, well, I don't think I ever took a Xan with him, to be honest, although we almost certainly were on Xans at the same time in the same place.
Same shit.
But because, like, his whole thing was, like, where I started the podcast, right? There was a GBC apartment around the fucking corner, literally, like, 2 blocks away from downtown, and it was, like, a war zone, the worst, most, like, drug-ridden neighborhood you ever seen in the world. Like, if you saw it right now, you'd be like, this is insane. I didn't even know this existed. And that's where they had their apartment at, and it was just, like, an insane goth hipster party.
Just a crack house. I saw
every night. People recording and just doing insane amounts of drugs. And, like, even in 2016, I already was kind of like, I'm not trying to go hang out in a fucking drug den every night. But then he moved out of there, like, pretty quick, to be honest, too. Like, so I don't know. I hung out with people a decent amount, but not, like, we weren't best friends. You know?
That scene seems weird to me hearing you talk about it, and I was just realizing how Lil Peep was, like, literally dead on that tour bus, and they were just, like, recording him and putting it on Snapchat. Juice WRLD, like, it was very clear that this guy had a problem, and everyone around him didn't really try. I mean, of course they tried to help him, but
yeah.
Do you think that hip hop encourages that behavior? Like, why? There's something about that that's very negative. There's a lot of negative energy in the hip hop world.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, think about that. Why, like, Juice WRLD gets signed by Interscope, and it's like, I mean, I do have multiple trains of thoughts, because on one hand, yeah, it's like almost impossible to get people to stop doing drugs unless they want to stop doing drugs. You know, I've seen that many times in my life where I had people that was close to me and they were the worst alcoholics or they were the crazy pillheads or whatever. And it's like, no matter what I said to them, they weren't going to stop unless they decided to stop. And the thing with Juice is he was so young and had so much power and money. And he's realistically was surrounded by a lot of people who are doing a fuckload of drugs as well, you know?
Because hip-hop kind of encourages that behavior. It makes it seem cool. When you're rapping about Percocet, Molly, Kill, Ops in every song, it's like you kind of feel like you need to live that lifestyle. So when you're not recording, you're just popping pills and you're running around with guns. And it's a very negative scene. Yeah. Thinking about it now, watching those documentaries, it's like there's not really a lot of positive rap. There's nothing godly about that.
Well, but the industry, the adults in the room don't act like adults, right?
And they don't care about that. They just see the rappers as cash cows. Yeah. Everyone they sign, that they just want them to keep doing gang activity so that
like early on, like hanging out with Pump and Smoke Perp or whatever. It's like they're taking drugs. I'm taking drugs. Realistically, not nearly as much as them, but like I'm just basically kind of whatever. Like you guys do your thing. Like I don't fucking care. It's none of my business what you guys are getting fucked up doing, right? But at this point in my life, like. I mean, think about that. I'm a fucking millionaire. I can do whatever the fuck I want with my life. If I choose to spend my life rolling around with fucking young ass kids doing drugs, and I don't take, if I don't like try to get them to chill or like, I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of like lame. Like, you're really that in love with the money and everything that you'll just like sit there and watch this kid fucking kill himself. But then at the same time, I understand the other side of it because I mean, what are you gonna fucking do? You're gonna lose your position if you really try to stop, right? Like, they're gonna boot you out of their fucking camp. Rappers, and I've seen it with all these fucking rappers, once they get to that level of power, nobody can say shit to make them stop doing what they're doing. The fucking security guards will go get them drugs. The managers will go get them drugs. They open up their DMs and they got 100 fans trying to get them drugs. It's like the worst possible scenario for somebody who actually wants to get off drugs, you know?
How much of hip-hop is just trying to look cool and selling an image?
Certainly a lot. Because I mean, think about it, dude. Like these are grown ass men in their 30s who are obsessed with fashion and diamonds and like cars, and a lot of them aren't. They just like know that they have to rep.
That's what they have to. That's why I'm saying it's a negative thing. Like you're not really. You're just trying to make people kind of jealous and worship and admire you. That's what's kind of like evil and satanic about it. They want their fans to just worship them and scream for them, but there's no connection. So that's why I recommend people to do streaming instead, because it's like I feel like I have a direct connection with my whole chat the whole time. They're saying, bro, right now they're saying like, don't sell your soul, don't sell your soul, because they think I'm being next to you. It's like means I'm being indoctrinated into the industry.
I got plenty of friends who are plenty religious, and I don't really give a shit.
I don't think,
it's not like
I think you're a normal guy.
To me, that's just like okay, you know what? Something that's smart I heard Destiny saying the other day. Your boy Destiny is like he said.
They're asking who won the debates, me or Destiny.
I didn't actually watch that whole one. So I
did a couple.
I'll reserve judgment. I got to watch more of it. But
Sneako.
He said that from his perspective, because he's friends with people like Tommy Laurent, and then he's friends with mega progressive people, right? Tommy Laurent's like a super conservative chick, whatever. And he said that like to him, the overlap between being a good person and what you believe, it's almost like completely irrelevant. Like a lot of the conservatives he knows are by far better people than people that he agrees with about everything ideologically on the left. And I would say that that's my experience too, is that I play poker a lot of times and I'll be sitting around people who are just talking about conservative shit like all the time. I don't talk about politics like at the poker table or whatever, but like I just see how a lot of the liberals are the biggest, most pompous fucking douchebags, even if I kind of agree with them about a lot of stuff.
You're a liberal?
I'm purple. I'm right in the middle. We could talk about
purple?
That though. Well,
but you know,
I
Nick
can't
Fuentes,
say red or blue pill. I got a purple pill. It's a lean pill.
You know Nick Fuentes, right?
I honestly don't know anything about him, but
you've listened to him?
I haven't. I know. I just hear he's racist sometimes, or he's some kind of whatever. I don't know, but I honestly have never really watched him.
Would you be down to talk to him?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Chat, so you want Nick Fuentes to join, but I want to keep interviewing Adam before we get in there. Some guy donated 50 and said the question is, why should the labels care about rappers like killing themselves? A lot of these rappers scam their fans for features. If they can't even respect their fans, why would a label care about some random rapper? They're still paid billions. Yeah, do you think that hip hop is just modern slavery? The label signs a rapper and they sign away all their masters, all their rights. The label basically owns all of their music. They don't help them out. They don't care. And actually, when the rapper dies, You know what happens. You know they fucking raped his whole catalog of music.
That's the part that I disagree with is that people try to say it's a conspiracy because
it's not a conspiracy, isn't it? Just true.
But like the idea that the labels want the rapper dead. Juice WRLD dies, right? He has what, like 1 or 2 albums come out. Maybe there'll be another one, but the albums keep selling less and less as time goes by. As time goes on,
but as soon as they die, the stock goes up for a rapper.
No, but if he stayed alive, then he would. Yeah, there's like a blast of hype right when they die. But if he had stayed alive, I mean, he would have been able to make music for 10.
Juice WRLD was an exception, probably, but Pop Smoke, like his stock tripled after he died.
Pop Smoke is somebody that we never even got to see
full potential.
Like a real full album. Yeah, I know
New York was the king
by far, for sure. Rolling Out 2019, that was like the summer of Pop Smoke. I couldn't believe it. Everywhere I went, that's all I heard. And like, you know, he definitely for sure, but he's worth so much more to the label alive. So in terms of incentives, the idea that like, I mean, the label's gonna make the best of a bad situation for sure. Like
but look what happened to X. Yeah. Like even I reacted to an X interview and it got copyrighted because they used a segment of the interview in a song interlude. So now it counts as, and they took all the ad revenue from a fucking reaction to his interview because it's music.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That label fucking sucks, man. Like, have you met his mom?
Yeah.
She's been involved in a lot of that stuff, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like the copyright stuff, I feel like is like totally out of the family's hands. The labels are just about as like intense as they possibly can be in terms of like trying to claim every last bit of revenue that they can get, and they don't care if they're basically scamming, you know?
For Adam, when dealing with interviews, when you have almost no knowledge on the person or topic, what thought process do you have to find great answers? Yeah, you just had Phantom on. I've been in a lot of the AMP videos. I know Phantom and all them. But it seemed like you were just kind of aware, like maybe one of your employees knew about him and then you got him on. Like, how do you facilitate a good interview when you don't really know them, or they're just a meme guy?
I mean, he was somebody with Phantom where like I had watched like maybe 5 videos or whatever, but then like Flacco knew a lot of shit to ask him. So I just kind of like co-hosted on it, even though, like a decent amount of the stuff he was saying was kind of like new to me, you know. But yeah, sometimes I don't know. But like, this is the thing: if you're interviewing somebody really, really smart, you kind of like don't necessarily need to know that much about them because they'll just talk, or not even smart, but like entertaining and funny. Yeah. When I feel like I need to know a shitload about a person is when they suck on camera, because then I need to have 20 fucking questions ready
on the whole time
to try to like open shit up. And then even stuff like I interviewed Peasy recently, who's like one of my favorite rappers from Detroit, and I didn't really like mention or think about the fact that he was in this rap group with a couple of other dudes like early on. And like, if I had just done a little bit more research, like I had heard about it, but I wasn't like fully like aware. And then I just ended up feeling like, oh, I kind of fucking missed out because I was supposed to be a little bit more educated.
What about interviews with comedians and stuff like that? I saw that you were just on Andrew Schultz's podcast.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's like kind of my favorite shit to do lately, is just like doing stuff that's more like comedy centric and a little bit less like
entertainment.
Yeah, because I'm just kind of like over interviewing like retarded fucking like rappers who
zanned out, leaned out, coming off a perk, talk just like Instagram famous, tatted up people. You had that fucking clone rapper on. Was that guy actually an industry plant? What's his name? He said he was like a clone from Mars or something.
Oh, what, Kid Boo?
Yeah,
I never had him on.
Oh, you didn't have him on?
No, Vlad had him on. He fucking... Yo, I actually had crazy beef with that dude. Like, I knew a girl who told me that he was trying to put a tracker on my car so he could figure out where I lives and shit. And then he did the thing where he pretended to steal my cat.
Really?
Yeah, he like got a white cat and he went to my store and he like had somebody film him running out of the store holding the white cat. And
that was a hell of a joke.
Everybody thought that my cat got stolen, and I was like, my cat is at my house. My cat is not at the store anymore.
Oh, we can't get Nick on. It's his birthdays with his family. Sorry, Chad, you can't get Nick, but... Wow. Why do you want to go away from? Well, you're just tired of talking of like zanned out, leaned out. Like that Boonk interview was a really eye-opening interview because it just shows the negative side of the entertainment industry. Like, when does it go from being funny to just like, oh, this guy's dying in front of our faces?
All right, I'll put it like this: like, when it comes to interviewing underground rappers, some of them, a lot of them are going to be nothing. Like, they're just going to do 10,000 views or 20,000, whatever, and like people are going to forget about it. And then some percentage of them are going to blow the fuck up after that. And it's really cool that you got that interview early on. That's dope. That's kind of how I got in the game. But like, let's say comedians, or let's say like Twitch thought leaders, you know, somebody like you or Destiny or fucking Mr. Girls.
I'm a thought leader already? Mr. Girls a little bit weird.
A thought leader. But like any of those dudes.
I am a thought leader.
I could sit here and talk to fucking you or Destiny or Mr. Girl for 5 hours straight and I'll be fine. And like a lot of times when I'm interviewing some fucking random ass rapper,
They got nothing to say besides like Instagram, like, yeah, I'm just trying to make it big, man. Big racks, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting money steady. What's up? Yeah. Fuck all my ops. And it's like, okay, what else are we going to talk about? They're just there to plug their thing. Their label told them to go on this podcast, and they're just there to be on camera. They're all jewelried out. It's not fun. What do you think?
When it's cool, it's cool. But
most of the time it's not.
I'm not really trying to like take every single last opportunity to interview every last little underground rapper. Like, I just don't.
They're asking when you're going to interview Spider Gang or Lil Darky. Are those one of like the underground rappers that I have no idea who those are?
I don't know.
You
might be trolling us. But I mean, actually, it kind of sounds like a real thing.
Lil Darky.
The question is, why should the label...
No, we already answered this one. When did you switch? When did the switch flip? Because I see a lot of people say that, like, Adam's just trying to be cool. Adam is trying to fit in the... I mean, you definitely hear that on a regular basis.
See me, like, all right, the position I'm in right now, I could be fucking with different, like, huge name rappers every day or doing the...
You know all the rappers, every single one.
What am I doing today? I'm riding around
on my room,
bike
going on bikes.
With my BMX team. I'm like... When people say, like, I just do shit to be cool, it's like, bro, I could be doing such a better job. I know exactly what I should be doing if I want to be cool. I need to be in the club every fucking night. You know, like, fucking, I need to be just... Networking and partying and doing all this bullshit.
I met Adam and his crew today. He's, like, a cool guy. Seems like... I was like, he looks like a regular-ass dude. Didn't seem like any millionaire industry weird shit, just jumping on bikes, walking around in Brooklyn.
Because my thing is that I made all this money, and if anything, it just made me realize, like, oh, I just want to be, like, a regular guy. Like, I just want to be able to do... cool shit for the subcultures that I'm into, whether it's bike riding or rap.
That's what really matters.
Content creation, yeah. Like I just
the rest of it is attention seeking and validation seeking.
I want to have fun, make business moves, build a cool business, like put other people on, etc. But I like it because I find a lot of people like get money and then decide that they. I don't know, like either want to keep chasing the thing like that they already had decided was this thing, and I just don't have that in me. Like I already like have kind of made it to the point where I would just way rather do things I genuinely enjoy rather than like, I don't know, try to go out and just fucking paint this stupid ass picture of myself of being somebody that I'm not,
Did you go through that phase?
I bought an $8,000 grill at one point.
Yeah, I would say like maybe 2017, 2018, I saw you kind of getting into that, like the rapper thing.
I had to try it out. Like, I had to try out the fucking grill. I wore it like 2 times.
Are there any tattoos you regret?
I got a bunch of tattoos covered up. Like, just anything. Like, just fucking... But it's all like, I got shit covered up from when I was like 18.
They keep asking about the upside down cross.
Yeah, I'm an atheist. So I got an upside down cross on my face. Which,
so you're saying like you're anti-Jesus?
I'm anti-religion in general. Like I grew up Christian, and I just at a certain point just realized I can't even hear it. I just see you hitting the button.
Allahu Akbar, yeah, praise Allah. But I'm not religious either, and I would call myself an atheist until pretty recently.
I don't think I need a religion to like figure out what's right and wrong.
I don't think I need to either. And so I think what I realized about religion is that it's necessary for the mass population because most people are not at the level where they can be independent and follow their own thoughts and be in control. So they need something to follow.
I think religion has very much been replaced by like consumerism within our culture, which I think is ultimately probably a bad thing. That like people worship the fucking Kardashians and they watch the news.
That's some evil shit.
That's their new religion, is like to be really informed.
Being a liberal. Being a liberal is a religion.
Yeah, sure, but like just in general, like I don't know. I mean, I could talk about the atheist shit. Like, it's been a long-ass time since I actually fucking, like, really even talked about it.
I want to hear. Did you grow up religious? You grew up in New Hampshire?
But I wasn't religious, but my parents grew up. Like,
Catholic?
Protestant.
Okay.
My parents, like, were all about getting me to go to church on the weekends, whatever.
And you were bored.
Sundays, and I hated it. I have, like, such strong memories of just crying my eyes out when I'm, like, 9 because I don't want to go to fucking church, And
so when did you leave? You just didn't want to go. I was the same way. Church was boring to me. I didn't like going. They were singing the same songs. The priest wasn't saying anything. I didn't feel like the priest had any life experience. So why am I listening to this guy?
My parents told me, like, when I was in, I think 8th or 9th grade, they said if you get confirmed through the church, and then we won't make you go to church anymore. And I was like, so you're telling me if I go to church for like 6 months, then you're never gonna make me go back? They're like, okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I did it. I got confirmed, and then I never went back. So that was pretty much it for me.
You've never tried to revisit religion since then?
If anything, I just got like way more deeper into
atheism.
Yeah, like just reading about it and like just finding better and better arguments for why there is no God or why I would not assume that there's a God. And but it is different for me as I get older because it seems like there are way bigger problems to be addressing as a society, you know? Like, I don't really think that...
But don't you think society is better if we all follow God?
No.
If we believe in some sort of morality...
God. It's a delusion. But, so, like, I don't think anyone deluding
Why do you think it's a delusion?
Is a good thing. Because it's just factually not true. Like, what are we basing our belief in God on? What, the Bible?
Maybe not the Bible. I don't believe in the Bible. I don't really believe in any religion specifically, but I think that if enough people believe in something greater than them, society works better. If people have rules to follow and people believe in something that's bigger and they follow some sense of morality, then we end up in a better place. And now we're in a godless country. Religion is dead in the West, and you see like the results of it. Like, you live in LA, liberal ass city. New York, liberal ass city, where they're doing like running around in pride, naked in front of kids, doing all this degenerate bullshit. It's disgusting. There's a lot of disgust. Drill music is taking over. People feel comfortable saying that they want to kill other people. Right. A lot of stuff that if you followed religion would be like, no, you're gonna go to hell.
But the idea that like that the world was just peachy keen before religion started to die off, I don't think is the case. I think like people just used religion as a way to fucking basically do all kinds of shitty shit for like for all of time before recent times. It's only in the last 30 years, 20 years that you've actually seen people start to become less religious. Like, I remember it.
And you see the results
throughout my life. I've seen it drop off. Like 15, 20% of less Americans believe in
Even
God.
when I grew up, it was still like you assumed that everybody was Christian when I was growing up, and now it's just like it's a standard for people to be godless.
And this is the other thing too, is that the idea of what it is to be a Christian has changed a lot, because all the guys who do the podcast with me or whatever, they all say they believe in God. Like, they don't read the Bible, they don't go to church. And some of them would probably question parts of that, but they don't read the Bible, they don't go to church. If I ask them specific questions about the Bible, they wouldn't be able to tell me shit. They even say, I don't necessarily believe in the Bible, or I'm not thinking about Jesus or whatever. Like, they're just like not seriously religious in the way that, like, when I was a kid, like, my grandma said she was a Christian and she went to church every Sunday and she prayed next to her bed every night, and she like really like lived her life based around the idea that she didn't want to go to hell. And most Americans, when they say like, I'm religious, I'm just like, in what way are you actually religious? Like, you say you believe in God because you think that you are the type of person who believes in God. Right. Okay. I get that for sure. But I don't really think you believe in God, because you don't live your life like you're scared of God.
So how do you follow? What are the rules of life that you follow?
I mean, I just try to be a good person and try to, do things that fall within the realm of shit that I could tolerate myself doing. I'm always trying to like figure out what I think about.
And you're a father too, right?
Yeah.
How old is your
almost
daughter?
2 years. Yeah.
She's 2 years old?
Yeah.
I mean,
best thing ever happened to me.
You've been in like you're in porno videos. Uh-huh. And you say you want to be a good person. I would assume you don't want your daughter doing the same thing. Would that matter to you? When
she is of the age that she can make that decision, I think I would be understanding if she wanted to make that decision, even though for sure I would like to see her, explore other options and like really see what life has to offer before she's just like, oh, I'm cute, I'm gonna start OnlyFans and that's just gonna be the rest of my fucking life, But at the same time,
I'm not religious. I would hate that. That's like one of my biggest fears.
I think about girls that I know who have OnlyFans and they're making like fucking $100,000, a couple $100,000 a month, and they like, I don't know, take some pictures with their nipples showing, or like, suck a dick once in a while in the DMs. And there's girls who do way gnarlier shit. Obviously me and my girl are doing everything under the fucking sun. But I mean, just having an OnlyFans or whatever, like, it doesn't mean that you have to like do every crazy ass thing, Like, I don't like when I think about a lot of the chicks I know, I mean, they seem pretty fucking happy and they're making stupid amounts of money. To me, that's like, you beat the system, basically. Yeah. And yeah, obviously, like, no dad wants to think about their kid getting piped out on camera. But when I think about my kid making that decision at 25, would I be bothered by it? Yes, for sure. Would I think that there was anything wrong with her making that decision? No. I look at all these other 25-year-old girls I know who are making $100,000 a month, and I'm proud of them. I'm like, that's dope. I'm like, happy that you're doing that and you're doing something you're happy with. So would I be able to really genuinely tell my daughter, like, yo, I think you're fucked up because you fucking chose to start OnlyFans instead of working at Chick-fil-A once she's like at that age? I mean, I just don't think that's like, I'm not really worried about it the way that like a lot of people kind of throw it out there, like I should be worried about it. But
because you and your Lena is that your wife? Mm-hmm. You're
fiance.
Both. What's your
fiance? Getting married next year probably.
Don't you think it's more likely if both of you are sex workers?
I mean, she's definitely gonna know. I mean, she's like already even. We go hang out with Riley Reid. We go to Riley Reid's house and hang out with her and her husband. You know, like
Riley Reid's married?
Yeah, she got married maybe a year ago.
Wow.
And yeah.
Are they in an open relationship?
No, they only shoot together. She retired from the game.
She did?
Yeah.
No.
A lot of people sad about that.
Damn. Thought I might have had a chance.
But yeah, she was great. I really enjoyed the not married part of her life.
My roommate pulled up. What are the details of your open relationship? I mean, how does that work? I've tried it before and I realized that, like, okay, I want it open for me, but open for her, it's just like, I can't, that this is not going to work. It's not going to work. And like the jealousy happened a lot where it's like, okay, I'm doing my thing, but she can't. So it's like girls get competitive and reactionary.
So in the beginning, maybe like the first year of our relationship, I was still just fucking other girls. And if she wanted to talk about it, like I wasn't really trying to hear it. You know, like during the period of us like getting to know each other, getting together, etc., I basically was just fucking around, doing whatever.
And she wasn't. Oh, but she was.
And she wasn't. She has not actually had sex with anybody since I met her. Like, since I started dating her.
That's how it should be.
All me. Well, yeah, I mean, like, okay, in terms of the porn thing, I agree. Because we've had that conversation. Like, she waited like 5 years into our relationship to be like, do you really think that it's fair that you get to fuck all these girls with me?
5 years.
And then she kind of like finally brought it up. Like she finally started thinking about it. And I was like,
it took 5 years. It took me like 2 weeks before I had that conversation.
No, but like in terms of like her doing porn with other dudes, right?
Oh, okay,
like that conversation. And I was like, you know.
So she wasn't allowed to do porn with other dudes?
She's not allowed to. We have come, not allowed, but we have come to the conclusion that, you know, we fuck girls together. I mean, my thing too is like, I know a lot of porn couples who have broken up because of that exact thing, right? Or like, I was just talking to Kiss of Sins, who was married to Johnny Sins, or is married to Johnny Sins, and she told me that he, at a certain, because he was the only guy who was fucking her. He got her into the porn game. He's the only guy that's fucking her. And then at a certain point, she starts fucking all these other guys so that she can work more and make more money, do whatever. And then he ended up regretting it. I honestly think it probably would put so much stress on a relationship that it just honestly wouldn't be worth it. And I mean, for me, I'm like, I'm just used to this. Like, my girl's 31. I'm 38. I'm not really planning on having sex on camera for that much longer, you know?
When are you hanging up the condom?
I mean, I feel like even the goats in the porn game, in terms of dudes, are out of there by the time they're maybe like 45 or some shit.
Shout out to Johnny Sins, goat.
I think he's not 45. But like, if I was still doing this at 45, I would be, because I really don't have to do it right now even. You know, I feel like I would figure out another way to...
So why do you do it?
Because I really just like wanted to start like a porn business, right? Like I just wanted to get in the game in general. And me and my girl just kind of had this porn podcast idea, onlyplugtalk.com, where you could see us interview a new girl every week and then have sex with her after. But yeah, we thought this idea up together. And my whole thing was like, oh, I'm going to start this brand with her. We're going to build this crazy ass brand. And meanwhile, it's going to be this podcast. And then what does it turn into over time? I don't know, but I have a lot of ideas, basically, is what I would say.
So you do porn for the business of it?
Yeah. I mean, like, what else? Like, I do it for the money, you know? It is fun, though. Get to fuck a new girl every week with my girl. I get to have these fun
How bisexual is she?
My girl?
Yeah.
She's very.
Like 60-40, 50-50?
She, when she was in college, she was a college fucking lesbian. She dated a girl for 4 years straight in college.
Perfect.
Gets out, dates around a little bit, ends up meeting me like 2 years later. And she told me she got out of the relationship with the girl because she started to realize that they were really, really good friends, but that she wasn't.
Attracted to her?
That she just wasn't like fully gay. She's like, I really just like started to realize that I needed a dick. Like, that she just like wasn't going to be happy. People think it's funny that I call my kid the kid.
That's what parents say all the time.
I say like, hey, when the kid is this, you know, like,
I hear that regularly. Yeah.
I think that's normal. I don't know.
This $30 dono said, especially code, it contains information such as book, Morse code, DNA. Information is only created. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
What the fuck? Dude,
I get a lot of conspiracy people, like people who are heavy into this stuff.
That's why I'm totally like not equipped to argue the idea of me being a Freemason, because I still don't even really know what it is.
Yeah, it's just like a secret society, fake Illuminati for working class people.
But I don't really know like enough about it that I feel like
it's worth engaging with.
Like
those
I can't really argue it because I need to like watch like a half-hour video about it so I can be like, oh, that I know what that is, and I'm not that. Currently, I don't.
He's not that Chad.
I don't really know much about it.
What's the best way to navigate an open relationship, you think? I think you have an ideal relationship. I think I want to get a bisexual girl who's almost even more attracted to women than men. And then I want to have 2 girlfriends and they're in love with each other. And then it trickles down from me. And so then there's less like competition, because I feel like if you're with two straight girls, the straight girls are gonna hate each other and they're gonna be secretly competing to see who's gonna be more in charge. But if they love each other as much as they love me, it's like a triangle.
But okay, I like that. But my thing is, like, me and my girl, we'll fuck a girl. And then, like, what do? I go outside, smoke a little weed, and I come back inside, I sit on the couch, I'm looking at my phone, the girl's about to leave, I give her a little hug, whatever, it was good seeing you, she's out. I don't really have, like, I don't feel like I care about relationships with women enough to have more than one girl in my life. Like,
oh, really?
It just wouldn't really, like fucking them, sure. Like, okay. the way that we have it right now, where we have a girl come over for an hour or two, we fuck her, we film it, we make money off it, and then I don't have to think about it after. That's beautiful. That's great for me.
Oh, you film all of it?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah. It's been we really have like very few threesomes. Like, because even if I like fully didn't care about filming it, it's still like, damn, this is worth like 40 grand.
Just fuck that session.
I mean, it's not every session.
That's crazy.
But bro, like, okay, every plug side,
40K nuts.
We put out.
That was a 40K nut.
I show up and I'll bust 3-4 nuts in a row. Throughout the course of the day, I'm like, I got like an 8-hour shift. Every 2 hours, I'm busting a nut. It's a lot of nut.
How do you, especially at 38? I'm surprised you're able to do that.
I don't know how I can do it.
Good job, man,
dude. Because that's why it's trippy being out here in the BK streets. Because I used to just be out here on MySpace and OkCupid or whatever the fuck, just meeting chicks and just riding my bike to their house and then fucking them and then riding back, and like I was just like putting in work out here for
on MySpace. You were getting MySpace pussy?
Hell yeah, I was getting Friendster ass way before before MySpace. Yeah, Facebook, whatever.
Damn, I missed the era. It's way different. At a certain
point, I realized that I could just narrow my MySpace down to only be like white chicks, because I started to realize that black chicks didn't want to fuck me. So that I just could just give up on it. Well, at least at that point in my life. I don't know. Maybe it would be different now. But I just realized, like,
dark skins love me.
None of these black chicks like me.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like they might now. But at that time, definitely. None of these chicks were responding to me. They just weren't fucking with me. I didn't have any cool, like, clothes or anything.
This guy asked, Adam, are you afraid if people will bully your kid because of your profession?
No, because I'm going to shoot them. I just honestly don't give a fuck. It's like, whatever.
Mercedes says, do you think having... filming segs and selling it to incels is great? Do you believe you are having a damaging effect on society?
No.
Yeah, how many people do you think are jealous watching you fuck these girls all the time?
I don't know, man.
A good amount. 40K nuts.
Beat off, right? Yeah. Like, everybody got to beat off. I was beating off my own fucking
crazy
life.
There's people watching this that have beat off to your videos. That's insane.
I know, it's weird. Like, a guy came up to me today. Like, I probably had 50 people come up to me today showing love, whatever, and like one guy goes, keep it up with that plug talk shit, man. And I'm just like, oh, that guy's beat off to me. That is so weird.
And then he dapped him up. You shook the hand that beat off to you.
And he put his hand out and it was covered in cum. And I just reached down and...
Okay, I gotta hit.
That's the love I have for my fans, dude. Suck a nut off your hand.
What's the best way to navigate a threesome for the guys watching that want to learn? What's the best ratio? Does your girl have to be bisexual? I've had this problem where I'm like, okay, well, a lot of it is like, unless I'm really like fucked up, then I don't have to think about it as much. But sometimes you're like, okay, enough attention on her, attention to the other one. You got to divide it. Is she feeling lonely? Is she feeling left out? And then sometimes like, bro, she can get upset.
There's like types of threesomes, because all right, like there was a porn star girl that like back in the day, I didn't date her, but I hung out with her for like a couple months, and like sort of we were feeling each other, but at the same time I knew she was a piece of shit, so I was like never really got serious with her. But like she would sometimes like bring girls around, and then we would just fuck the girls together, like just chicks she knew, whatever. And that was kind of like closer to like the relationship type threesome. Or even my girl, like before we started like really filming porn together, she would just like meet some girl at a fucking... She
was doing the work for you? She was hunting for you?
Like, I would meet girls and I would send it to her and be like, hey, let's fuck with this girl. But then also she would meet girls and just be like, hey, surprise. So that was amazing. But then also like, bro, that's what's fucking crazy about me getting in relationships right as I started to get clout. Is right when I got in a relationship, like I was starting to get to the point where I would have like girls hitting me up in the DMs wanting to fuck me with their friend, And like
you can't.
No, and I would just do it. Like this is before the relationship, and I would just like be having girls coming over, fucking me, and then just leaving. Like 2 girls at the same time, and like my whole life I've been
straight from the DMs.
Yeah, my whole life I've been working so hard to have those kind of experiences, and then all of a sudden it just started happening to me over and over and over, and I almost started to feel like, bro, you are gonna fucking spiral out of control if you keep going down this path. And so then when like the relationship shit kind of like, I met my girl and like at first I just fuck her, whatever, like we still were talking a little bit, but then I start to realize like as we keep hanging out, like, oh, she loves me, like she actually really fucking cares about me. And then like I had no qualms about getting in a relationship at a certain point, because I feel like that just kind of is just so much more like real and meaningful. Sometimes I think about like I would have like a week of my life where I would be hanging out with different girls, just fucking like a couple times a day, different girls coming over, doing drugs with them, like just weeks straight of just.
You're doing some rock star shit.
I got to that point where like, and this is before Cloud even, where I would just be like, you know, like just meeting girls online. And like, I remember one time I had a girlfriend when I was in 2013 maybe, and I got this girlfriend. She goes on a trip for a week. She comes back. It's New Year's. We're doing ecstasy together. I go to take a shit. She grabs my phone, starts looking through my phone. She realized that I fucked 10 girls in the week that she was gone. She starts crying. She throws my phone against the wall, whatever. We were on ecstasy, so we kind of like were able to like get back into a decent place pretty quickly. But like when I look back at that period of my life, like I was bad. I wasn't wearing no rubbers. Could have got the monster, dude.
You ever got anything? I mean, you don't want to say that on stream. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens.
Just regular shit.
You know,
people think it's so much bigger of a deal than it is. Because, like,
but the worst part is like telling a girl that you gave her something, and then you got to deal with the That's the worst part. Like, you don't even get mad that you got it. You're like, fuck, now I got to tell her.
Trying to come up with a lie to not admit.
Did you think about slipping her the pill so that you wouldn't have to tell her? No, I mean, neither.
That's smart, actually.
I never thought about doing that. I never thought. Never.
That's a good idea.
No, it's not. Don't chat. No, it's the best.
Last time I got chlamydia, a few months ago, 3-4 months ago, whatever. I walk into the walk-in clinic. What do? They ask me like, what are the symptoms? I say my dick is dripping. I got a little bit of drip. I know what I got. I got chlamydia or I got gonorrhea. I forget which one it was. They say, okay, cool. Here's these pills. We're going to give you a shot in your ass just to be safe.
Yeah,
boom, we're done. That's it.
Yeah, I know, but then you got to tell your girl, and then she's mad at you. She's crying.
You can't fuck for a week or longer, I think. Yeah, that's and as a porn person, this is. But also, you can mess up our schedule.
Yeah, you can also mess up her pregnancy too. Apparently, if girls get it too many times, and like her childbearing, blah blah blah.
I've heard that, but I also know plenty of porn star girls who have kids, and literally they probably have had like the clapper gonorrhea like 30 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean,
get off my.
That probably happens sometimes, but I don't think it happens like all.
Bro, they just read that online, and that's what they used to get mad at you.
Yeah, but people always like. There's all these like conventional wisdoms that aren't really true. Like everybody's always like, you can't drink when you get tattooed, and I'm like, I've been shit-faced every time I ever got tattooed. Happened. But all these tattoo artists fooled you fucking people into believing that because they don't want you to be drunk coming in to get a tattoo. Yeah. But it's like conventional wisdom that people just believe.
Do you think your actions are appropriate for someone at your age? I would understand if you were 20, but not like that. I hate this question because why is the idea of maturity to not fuck and to not have fun? Adam's clearly like enjoying his life. I think people have this idea and this misconception that you need to settle down and calm down at a certain age. But why would you want to stop fucking?
Yeah, and I mean, there's some stuff that if I was still doing it at fucking 38 that I totally agree. Like, you know, popping Xans,
the drugs,
drinking lean. If you're still doing that at 38 and you can hold your life together and really be doing good for yourself, shit, whatever. But I don't think that's like a great life to live. And I don't really like think that I wouldn't recommend that for most people. And just like not taking your life seriously in general as you get older starts to become less and less attractive. Like, all right, here's something you'll like. I've always thinking about this. You ever notice how when it comes to male rappers, we're very open to them being pieces of shit. They can be open.
Oh, we encourage it.
They can carry guns. They can do drugs. They can sell drugs.
Rob people.
Do whatever. Beat the fuck out of people. A normal rap lyric is like Future basically saying like, I will cheat on every woman that I ever date for the rest of my life, but I will never turn my back on my brothers. You know, like we take that like, hey, he's a fucking rapper. Like that's sick.
Bars.
We like hearing that shit from him. But then when it comes to female rappers, they're not allowed to be pieces of shit because nobody wants to see a girl like picture in your head, picture like a hot chick. She becomes a rapper and she's got a lean cup and she's talking about how she drinks
because
lean.
that's masculine.
What are you gonna think? You're gonna think, bitch, take care of your kids. You're supposed to have kids one day. How the fuck are you gonna be drinking lean?
Well,
you know.
On the other hand, Cardi B was drugging and robbing people, and then everyone kind of just fucking moved on.
Yeah, that's true.
Like no one really holds
she
her
was
to that.
successful, but yeah, nah, you're right. But okay, what do we want from Cardi B now? We want her to be a good mom. We want her to make good music. But if Cardi B was doing some destructive ass shit,
now
we would look at her like the biggest piece of shit. We judge women and men very differently, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it 100% makes sense.
That's the rules.
Yeah, and if the world judged men, like male rappers, like that, that would be probably a good thing. Like, we just give male rappers a pass to do whatever because we like the music and we kind of know that if a rapper is doing heroin, that they're probably going to make fucking cool music about the heroin thing. And
Opiates do provide good bars.
There's been a lot of that. But like, then meanwhile, like, I think that's a big part of why there are so few popular female rappers is that, like, what do they do? Like, what are they going to talk about? Like, what does everybody say about Meg Thee Stallion and why they don't like her? They're like, I'm not going to listen to a fucking album of you talking about shaking your ass. But like, there's not that many things that she can talk about that people are gonna like welcome. I think because we judge female rappers.
They shouldn't rap.
We want them to be actual like good people. Maybe because we want women to be good people. Rapping because women have to take care of the kids. The guy can kind of be a piece of shit and dip off and go sell coke on the corner because we all know the guy doesn't necessarily have to be around the kid all day, right?
So maybe women just shouldn't rap.
Definitely, yeah. That's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least most.
Most. Who's an exception?
I think.
Did Meg Thee Stallion lie about Tory shooting her in the foot?
I don't know, but
I like Glorilla. She lied.
You fuck with Glorilla?
I haven't heard about her.
She signed to Yo Gotti. She got.
What does she do? Twerk and shit?
Nah, she's more like a skinny.
Wait, can you not answer the Megan Thee Stallion question because you're part of the industry? And
no, because I really don't know. Like, I actually.
She fucking lied, bro. The doctor released she stepped on glass.
Listen, if that is true, I will be right here with you talking about how her career should be fucking over for lying about this. I will 100% agree with you. That being said, I've seen so much stuff from both sides that makes me really unsure of what to believe. So I'm kind of still just like waiting. I didn't know I was going to be waiting for 2 years to make a decision about how I feel about this. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of torn, dude. I still kind of think Tori might just be a sociopath who fucking shot her in the foot.
Someone said, what's something nobody knows about being a male porn star that people should know? Do you have to get a shot in your ass once in a while?
No. Well, if you get an STD, yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of funny experiences, like shooting porn, like not me shooting it, but like doing shoots that I organize, basically, where like I'll be at the house and then like we have a male porn star and he's got to fuck this girl, whatever. Like we tried doing these episodes where like I interviewed the girl and then she fucks this other dude on camera, right? And like, dude, I had so many fucking problems with the dudes not being able to get hard, which is like, I don't even feel like
you've never had that before. You've never had to pop Viagra's.
No.
You never tried the honey, like you know that you've been put onto the royal honey.
I never tried any of it.
You know the honey though?
Yeah, I heard about it, but
you've never taken that shit. You've never had problems. You've never had stage fright.
No. Okay, one time, one of the first plug talks we ever did, I kind of like
plug talk.
We do the interview and then we do the sex part, right? In between the interview and the sex, me and the girl smoked a blunt. And I think I got way too in my head and just was like kind of freaking out. Okay. And then there's been one or two other times where I'm filming Plug Talk and I fucking am banging the girl. I go to pull out to like, you know, let my dick breathe for a second because I don't want to nut right away. And then I look down at my dick and I see like, the like it really pre-comes. Like I actually like prematurely like a little bit of it blasts out. But in both of those situations, I was able to be like, yo, give me 5 minutes. And then I got it right back up and boom, and blew a whole fucking nut. So, I don't know. I feel like...
I'm proud of you.
It's a mental thing. Like, a lot of times, my girl will be riding me, and the camera's like on the other side, so you can't see me. And my girl will be like looking at me, and she'll see that I'm like trying to get in this like very zen space. Because you can't... If you're fucking two chicks, and your job is to try to fuck them for a fucking half hour or 40 minutes or whatever, you can't be thinking about the fact that you're fucking two hot chicks because your brain will want to come from the fucking hotness of
the situation. Yeah.
Like when you're actually just really fucking, you're just enjoying it. You're just, you know, you're touching them.
But if you think about the context too much, then you're the 12-year-old being they meet.
If you think about how good it looks or how hot it is, like if you're staring at this perfect ass riding you, dude, you're going to come.
That's what I think sucks about...
stare at the wall sometimes.
I think about like my grandma. I think about math. Like if I'll literally think about my grandma to try. That's the bad part about being a man versus being a woman. Could just enjoy the whole situation, and she doesn't even have to really think. But a lot of the being a man, and like you have to perform. So you know all the tricks and stuff like that. You like talking about the bloop and taking 5 minutes off and staring at the wall. And I'm thinking about my grandma, so I can. But a woman could just enjoy it. Golf.
I picture grassy hills. But then if that doesn't work, I start trying to think about, instead of something neutral, I start to think about something gross. So I'll try to think of like some 60-year-old dude naked. Like I used to work out in Koreatown in the gym, the public, like, or not the public gym, but like 24-hour fitness. Dude, I saw the grossest Asian dicks in there. Like barely even a dick. Like tiny, like I'll try to think of some
like little raisins.
Like yo, like much respect to them. They're like 50, 60 years old, whatever. But it's barely a dick.
Yeah,
dude. So if I think about that, usually that'll work pretty good.
Chris Walker said, Sneako, you are being blinded by clout. Ask him about masculinity and hear what will you say. I guess the question is, you have plug talk, you do prawn, but do you ever think about the effects? Like, do you think like the guy who daps you up with cum in his hand?
That was a joke.
I know it's a joke, and you slipped it up. I know, but this really has a negative effect on guys. I take it you don't watch much prawn, probably, right?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I cut that out completely out of my life because I know it's really bad for your brain.
You think?
Yeah, and also.
But did you have an unhealthy relationship whether you were watching like a lot of it? Because for me,
I wasn't obsessed, but I'd be like, all right, like I'm going to bed. Let me just like beat one out.
Yeah. For me, prawn is, as you say, like 5 minutes on fucking Pornhub, like. To like, I think of it
exactly.
Like, it's like smoking a cigarette.
That's why
like
it's bad.
Taking a shot. It's
that's
like
why it's bad.
Take a little bit of the edge off. Yeah,
it turns sex into like this quick little release. It's like a little hit, so I can pass out.
But to me, it's not even sex. And also to me, beating off is preparing you to have sex. Because if I go to fuck my chick and I haven't fucked her for 2 days, I'm gonna fucking come way too quick. I'm not gonna be able to make her come. I'm not gonna be able to like really hold it down. But if
you gotta get that first one out
I like to take a nice beat off in the morning so that then by like 2 p.m. I'm ready, bro. Like I got a fucking full. I'm ready.
So but do you think about the effects? Like masculinity has been on the decline. The reason that you can be so successful with the podcast and selling sex is because there's. On the flip side, so many guys who are watching it, jealous of the life you live, watching sad guys who listen to you and also watch you fuck. It's kind of messed up in a way. And a lot of these OnlyFans girls and these prawn stars, they are making guys sadder. Like when you were growing up, like what did exist? Magazines.
Yeah, I mean, I was
phone sex.
By the time I was like 13, we had like AOL, and I could type in like porn. Into like the AOL search bar and like find like a picture of a girl showing her boobs. And honestly, even if I was jerking off for like 15 minutes, I might be able to get like 5 boob photos to load. Like that's where we were at on the internet. So I mean, can I honestly say that porn was kind of fucking me up as a kid? Like I don't know. I think some porn for sure young kids should not see. But from my perspective, like most of like the chicks that we're shooting with or whatever, we're having like fairly normal like on camera shit besides
it's not even about normal
and a guy. Like I don't really think it fucked me up. I think it honestly kind of like
because you grew up in a different generation. But now think about how many guys in Gen Z now are just watching prawn instead of going to talk to a girl. How sex has become so visual in 4K.
But I always did both. Like me jerking off was, if anything, just kind of taking the edge off so I could go to a fucking school party when I'm like 14 and try to finger a girl at the end of it. Like,
but at least you were going outside.
Yeah.
Do you realize how many guys
are going outside? And how can we blame
because of how much people are spending time online?
They're not going outside because they're watching fucking Sneako and Destiny argue about testosterone on here or some shit. No, I totally agree. Like, because if this content existed when I was 13, what are the odds that I would actually be like, oh, hell no, I'm not going outside. I'm not riding bikes. I'm sitting in the fucking basement. I'm going to watch these streams for 4 hours. I get it because I'm fucking so tapped into my YouTube watch later tab that I fucking save videos to all day. Like, it's very easy. There's so much shit on the internet. It's very easy to just like not go outside. And yo, I'm going to tell you some real shit is that, so, all right, when I was 13, I was in 7th grade and I went into a Hanson chat room. You know who Hanson is?
No idea.
They sang the song and went, bop doo ba da doo. This sounds like any song now, but like, they looked like girls. I'm going to be real with you. But like, this is me online at like 12. Find a Hanson chat room and go in there and call everybody like retards. That was basically like where I was at as a 12-year-old.
Okay.
My mom gets a fucking notification from AOL, your son did this in this chat room, and it's got the whole log. And so my mom's like, fuck this. She takes away fucking AOL, and like I didn't have the internet for like a big gaping like 3-year period in my adolescence. So I like fully got acquainted with the internet, was like really into it, started doing like little minor like hacking stuff and like wares, downloading movies and fucking CDs or whatever the fuck it was at the time, video games more than movies. I don't think movies were even on like the downloadable scene at that time. But either way, like I got to see the internet. Then my mom takes AOL away. I had 3 years where all I was doing was hanging out with girls and riding bikes and like becoming an actual person. And then all of a sudden I'm like 16 or 17 and my mom gets AOL back, and now I'm like terminally online again. And
yeah, but when I look back on dial-up back then,
that was the best. It was like 56K, and like it was starting to be like decent quality internet.
It's not this. You can't
but
compare it to
we weren't watching
now.
video. You're right.
You can't compare it at all to this.
I would be refreshing message boards and chat
message
rooms,
boards,
reading that shit. You're right. But all I'm saying is that getting outside, having those like 3-4 years where like I really like just had to be more of like a normal person and go out.
BMX saved your life.
Oh my god, it was just like, because it's just, you're outside, you're meeting people, you're dealing with people. All of a sudden you're macking it to the fucking girl who works at McDonald's, and you're taking her down by the rope swing and finger banging her, whatever. Like that shit is so important, and that is like, that's what I worry about, is like some of these young kids, like,
you don't go outside.
Did they go outside?
Well, that's what I encourage them. I stream in seasons. This is the season 3. I stream for a month, and then I take a month off and I go outside and I travel and stuff like that. Then I come back, because you know a lot of these Twitch streamers will spend all day like LQC, the fucking, and they're playing video games all day, and they're just like going to an echo chamber. They're literally streaming for 12 hours a day. I stream at night. I'm telling people to go outside too. I take a break off so I can have life experience, so that I'm not just saying the same shit all the time. I really encourage my chat to go outside too. It's really becoming obvious. Like have you noticed the decline of men's mental health?
Yeah, I noticed a lot of these guys like just don't really seem like equipped for the fucking world.
They don't know how to talk to girls.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Most guys, the 1 in 3 men are virgins or haven't had sex in a year in America. 1 in 3 are virgins or haven't had sex in a year. And you're here like, yeah, I fuck 2 chicks a week and make 40K off a nut. Yeah. Like, you are on a different level than most guys. So think about the flip side of that. Like, you're making a lot of money of it, but do you think about the effects that has on other people? I think that's like, I think it correlates exactly to why men are getting sadder, is they're just not getting pussy. But no guy who goes up to a school with an AR, they just didn't get pussy last night.
Well, that's definitely part of it.
If they got pussy that night before, they wouldn't go to the school with that.
If you were to look at the sexual histories of all these mass shooters, I'm pretty sure it would be fairly barren, right? Like, all right, like picture this. Picture you're a fucking like, you know, you're a fat fucking, I don't know, Middle Eastern dude with bad acne, and you fucking spend your whole life, and I only say Middle Eastern because I feel like our society kind of like treats a lot of Middle Eastern and Asian people as if they're less attractive than white or black people or whatever. But, you know, you're going through life, everywhere you go, you're looking at billboards, you're looking at magazine covers, and you're seeing just all these hot chicks, and their bodies aren't even real, and the covers are photoshopped or whatever, but they're the most beautiful shit you ever seen in your life, and you just want to fuck these girls so bad. And you also like kind of know in the back of your head that no matter what you do, you know, you could get a 6-pack, you could get a fucking Lambo, or you get a nice car, whatever. Like you could build yourself up to the point where you might be able to get some pussy, but realistically, you're not gonna fuck that girl on the billboard or anyone even close to what she looks like, right? Realistically, and I feel like I get it, like that kind of like weighs on people, because you know it's one thing if you're like getting pussy, but you're not getting the hottest chicks. I mean, most people could probably kind of live with that, but like dudes who really can't get any pussy, and then they end up acting out and just doing fucking crazy shit. I mean, I get it. Like, they've kind of been, like, excluded by the sexual marketplace from taking part in the most basic human activity. Mm-hmm. And it's really, you can't blame the girls, because it's like, what are they going to fucking just bang dudes that they think are disgusting?
Nobody blames the girls. Nobody blames the girls.
Just because they feel bad for them or for the betterment of society? Pussy. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't seem like it's going to happen. You kind of just, like, I mean, it's a tough situation. But anyway, all I'm saying is that, like, it's never really, like, crossed my mind that somebody's spending $5 a month to watch me fuck a different chick a week with my fiance on. They
have a subscription to you?
Yeah, OnlyFans, onlyplugtalk.com.
So you're an OnlyFans star?
I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, fucking a different girl on there every week. Yeah, I mean, but anyway, I've never really thought of it as having like a real negative impact on society, or if it does, it's part of like 0.001% of the total amount of porn out there. So, I mean,
no, yeah, it is points, but it is, I think, directly correlated to how men are getting sadder. These guys need to go outside and talk to a girl.
Yeah.
What do you think you learned? Because it was probably like you going outside and being on the BMX bikes and being in real world situations. I can tell you had, before the clout and the money, you knew how to game a girl.
Yeah, but that, like, when I was a kid, that was like the ultimate challenge that like me and my fucking friends would talk about and shit, is like, how do we get pussy? Like, how do you talk to a girl? How do you, I remember when I found out about the fucking pickup artist space in like and it was like perfect timing.
You read The Game?
Yeah.
By Neil Strauss?
Because
check out that book if you don't know how to talk to girls.
Great book. Yeah. Learned so much from it, even though I never went like all in.
And the guys are probably a little weird, but they did knowledge.
Those are the dudes who need help. Like the dudes who can't get, like, there's a certain extent to which, like, if I was doing courses about how to get pussy, dudes are gonna be like, dude, you are rich and you fucking seem like you've been getting pussy for a long time. What the fuck do we want to hear from you? When Fresh is talking about how to get pussy, dudes are like, whoa. If this dude,
no, hey, Fresh is really like that, bro. I went out to the clubs with Fresh, like people like to talk shit. Yeah. Bro, a lot of people say, like, yo, he doesn't get pussy, man. I've been outside with him. I've met 3 hoes. I've been like, I went on a couple dates with Fresh. I'm like, God damn, I'm getting Fresh's seconds.
No, Fresh for sure, like, might not seem like he's as good as he probably actually is on the show. Camera, you know, But anyway, like, yeah, like, no, okay, so I was in a relationship for like 2 years when I think I got into it when I was 20 and we broke up when I was 22 or something like that. And it was this girl, she moved from like a different state to be with me. I dated her, like we dated for a year, like long distance, and then we dated for a year where I was living with her, and it was a total disaster, like clearly just like the worst fucking relationship ever for me to get into. It was terrible. And then we break up, and I'm kind of, you know, like I'm excited to be single, but I'm also like trying to figure out like, well, what the fuck am I doing? All of a sudden I'm single. You know, you go through that recalibration process in your brain where you got to like figure out how to be happy without this bitch that you've been with for all these years. Yeah. And then I find the game because it was like relatively new at the time. And I think like that shit is important. Like a lot of guys will go through their life. You know, your dad teaches you how to like fix a fucking, you know, flat tire and dribble a basketball, but like your dad's not really telling you how to get bitches, right?
No.
And it's like really difficult. And it's like the kind of thing that you really could use some guidance on. And most guys just don't get it. So the fact that like you see like the men's rights and the pickup artists and all these different like generations that this shit goes through. And it's funny because like a lot of the dudes from the earlier ages of like the pickup artist shit, I mean like Andrew Tate, you, Fresh and Fit, they don't give a fuck about talking to these dudes from like 2008 or whatever who were like popping back then or whatever. But I mean, it all kind of like fills a similar need, which is that like our society at some point decided that if a guy is having mental health problems or is not sure about how to get girls, then he's a fucking loser. Fuck him. He can die in a fucking gutter. But then meanwhile, if a girl is even remotely uncomfortable with the way someone talked to her at work or with the dating options that she has, then she is deserving of unlimited sympathy, and it's fucking retarded. And I think that like there's a reason why these young dudes keep gravitating towards different dudes who are telling them shit that they need to hear, because it's not easy to be a guy in modern society, and anybody who acts like it is and like dudes aren't willing of being understood or whatever are fucking idiots, you know?
This Dylan Wolf said the red pill took over because a lot of places made pickup illegal. Back in the day, at least there was RSD to teach awkward people how to talk to people. Bring back 2013.
Wait, pickup is illegal?
Where? I mean, now it's harassment. Like if you talk to, I mean,
how would they enforce that though? That's crazy.
It's not exactly illegal, but if you go up to a girl and talk to her, a lot of feminists and liberal people will say like, "Why are you gonna go up and talk to this girl? Like you're harassing me."
That's crazy. Like
it could be considered harassment now.
The expectation that you're supposed to just like live your entire life just not even trying to interact with people is just so fucking stupid. Like how could you ever say that? That's wild.
What are some of your best pickup lines? I think that's a dumb question. Like guys who get pussy, it's not about a pickup line. It's about actually engaging in the situation. Yeah. If you go, you're not gonna go up and say a sentence and get some pussy over.
No, I never liked that because like in that pickup artist era, the suggestions that they had for like what you would say to a girl would be to like do magic tricks and like pull a fucking coin from behind their ear because it like breaks the tension and it like opens them up to you in a different way or whatever. I mean, that shit is fucking insane to me. Like they used to encourage you to like peacock, like go to the club and rock a fucking leather like red fucking cowboy hat. Peacock. So like you know you stand
that's
out
what the guys in the game did. They just like leathery shirts and stuff.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not fucking wearing a red cowboy hat.
Chris said again, you asked him about masculinity and he talked about having sex. So either he thinks being a man means having sex, or he's dodging like lestheny.
No, when I think of masculinity, or like what is an important, like what makes me a man, or what could make me a better man, it's like taking better care of my family and building better businesses and taking care of more of my friends or people who work for me and making better content to serve my audience. I mean, when I think about like masculinity, I mean, like what do I give a fuck about that? Like, yeah, okay, I work out and I try to eat good because I want to, like, I mean, is that masculinity to, like, you know, look good, look like a
Have you realized that a lot of guys are becoming weaker?
I mean, probably, but I mean, it's weird too because, like, yeah, because when I was in the store, I had more of like a straight up vantage point of what the average guy was like, and in particular,
guys
like
in
young dudes.
shirts.
Yeah, because, and also like our store was down the street from the high school, so it's like around like 2 or 3, like you just have like waves of people walking by, and you just kind of like are realizing what the average like 15-year-old kid in LA.
What do you notice about the average 15-year-old now than when you did growing up?
They just don't seem like comfortable having conversations. Like, it's so odd. Like, you will forever like see a group of like 4 14-year-olds in a Starbucks, or like and they're all just staring at their phone. And not to say that adults aren't the same way, but it's like, to me, when I was 14 and we didn't have phones and we were all hanging out in the fucking Starbucks together eating cookies or whatever, we would be talking to each other and like really forced to like engage with each other. And that to me is like a really sad thing. Like, okay, number one thing, if you want to be kicking it with a girl and want to make a good impression on her, put your fucking phone away. That's like a lot of guys, I see them and they're on a date with a girl. It looks like it's the first date and they're looking at their phone, like looking at their notifications. Like, to me, that projects insecurity so massively.
I don't think you can blame a lot of these guys though, because they're making us more and more addicted to this. It's become like a second life. It used to be an accessory when you were growing up. It was like something you had to dial up to do and download photos of a boob. And now it's just literally your life.
A girl wants you to be in the moment, I think. They want you to be present. They want you to be like relating to them and shit, which I realize is hard, because like that's when I really started to like not be able to handle like dating, is like when I started to like really do interviews, and I started to realize that I was learning a lot about the art of conversation, but then I'm also like hanging out with girls who are hot, but they're objectively idiots. They're like the dumbest fucking people that I've had conversations.
Do you think the prawn stars and the OF girls are smarter idiots? Honestly,
I mean, there's definitely no requirement of you being smart.
There,
you know, like it's not like being a doctor where it's
you don't
like,
need a high IQ to.
I would assume every doctor is reasonably smart. They have to be to get this fucking position, right? Like a girl, because bro, I've hung out with porn stars that were like, I just realized at some point, like, oh, you could never be anything else, because you just like,
that's all you got.
Your personality is just like a shell, like this, or like being hot has like made it so you don't have to develop personality skills. Like, that's one thing I can say about LA, is that all of the chicks I've met who are smoking 10s, like I'm talking like beautiful, like nobody in their entire life has ever looked at them and not thought, oh my god, she is so hot. Those girls are almost without question the dumbest, worst people I've met in my life, because it's just unbelievably obvious. They've never had to struggle. They've never had to work to get to a certain position. Whereas as a dude, in particular, an ugly guy, it's all work. Like, it's just, you're never gonna like have anything fucking handed to you. But I've seen it from the dude perspective too, because there's a guy I know named Leo who was on The Bachelorette. He's a guy. He's very good looking. Pause. No homo. He's a very handsome guy. He told me same exact thing. His whole life, he's just been able to coast because bitches look at him. Like, he could walk into a club and like easily, you know, bring home 10 chicks, you know? Like, he's just that guy. Like, he's just really good looking guy, knows how to talk to chicks, whatever. And I mean, almost no guys have that privilege, right? I think it's just like...
Did the red pill exist in the 90s? Early 2000s? Or is this a new thing that you're seeing carried?
Call it that. Although
I would consider, I mean, the red pill it was in The Matrix. Like, that movie came out in 99. Fight Club, Americans, like all these movies from the late 90s were kind of that idea.
I kind of think like red pill, that was like birth from Fight Club, and that because that era is like when people started to reconsider like, oh, how should a man think of himself? Very important thing. Very important wormhole.
It's getting worse. Those movies came out before social media, and you're seeing it getting worse and worse. I think it's kind of... I almost think of it as like a responsibility now as a male content creator to, like, they always tag me in these videos of me and the Tate brothers, like, these 3 guys are bringing masculinity back. Right. That's how Tristan heard about me. I had him on the stream yesterday. I think it's kind of our responsibility to talk to these guys and help them out, because they're lost. they're spending all their time online. At least you had BMX. At least you were going outside. We gotta tell them to do something. These guys are like genuinely. A lot of these guys are lost. Bro, is that not an alarming enough statistic for you that 1 in 3 guys haven't gotten laid in over a year or virgins?
I don't know what the fuck else they're doing. Because if like I'm the kind of person where if I don't get laid for a couple weeks, week or two,
you start like your brain starts.
It starts to become a bigger and bigger part of my brain.
You should incorporate that in your plug talk. You should incorporate something about like maybe you can make that a segment with the girls that you were on beforehand about game and about how you got to that situation, or like you could ask the girl like what could an average guy do to get with you.
But the girls, like, I'm gonna be real with you, like doing porn will ravage a girl's psyche because they'll get to the point where they can't really think about a guy as anything other than
an object,
a dude to make content with.
Oh no.
Or, you know, I think a lot of them want a boyfriend, but like because they have this fucking army of simp slaves, it's just very hard for them to imagine how they're gonna let a guy past that wall. A lot, and let's be real,
it's fucking up relationships.
A lot of girls, once they've done OnlyFans or whatever, it makes like, you know, a very large percentage of guys not interested in them. And I've had that conversation with girls over and over and over where you realize like, oh, so this girl has money, the looks, the fame. She wants to date a guy who has money, looks, and fame, which is like what, a rapper or a fucking ball player or whatever. But a lot of those guys basically have like concluded that she's not going to be the chick that they take serious, either because she's fucked a whole shitload of guys that they know, or she's a porn star, whatever. It's like, you know, it's kind of a sad situation, really.
It's really fucked up the dating marketplace, man. And maybe have you thought about how you've made it out of that situation because of like you've been doing content creation for so long that you've created a business online and you've had money streams so much and you're a millionaire that you don't even ever have to think about that anymore.
Yeah, I think about it because it's like, I mean, obviously that's one of your main insecurities when you're young and single is like, oh, I don't
have anything about me.
Yeah, because once you have enough money, it's like you can kind of like do whatever with
you can coast on
like,
that.
You could just sort of like, you know, if you take a girl out to a nice dinner and drinks and then bring her back to your fucking mansion,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
A large percentage of girls are going to be impressed enough by this that even if they don't fuck you night one, like they probably are going to intend to fuck you, right? So yeah, but even like, all right, yesterday I'm at the fucking bodega, right? And I'm in a relationship, so this is why I didn't go down this road. But 2 girls come up to me right away. Oh my God, are you fucking ADAM22? Rah, rah, rah. They're so hyped. I'm thinking in my head, like, if I was in a relationship, I would straight up be like, yeah, let me get your number. And then I would try to fuck both those girls together at the end of the night, probably. And I feel like there's a pretty good chance that, you know, I don't know if they want to fuck me, but like they probably would have been down in a me being in a relationship world. But when I look at that, I'm like, you know, what's the fucking point? Like, I already did so much of this shit. I already fucked so many girls. What did I actually do? I actually sat in my fucking Airbnb, hung out with my friends, answered emails, listened to some podcasts with like you and Destiny and shit like that, and fucking...
I took a W.
Realistically, had a nice calming evening chilling that would probably be like so much better for my fucking state of mind than like just hanging out with 2 random girls and staying out till 4 a.m. drinking and trying to fuck them. Like,
I always regret it afterwards. I kind of almost see like fucking a hoe as like doing coke or doing Molly.
Yeah, it's like destructive behavior.
You don't gain anything from it. There's no substantial relationship. You're not building towards anything. It's cheap, quick pleasure. It's like it's the same thing as watching. It's like smoking a cigarette, just like a better cigarette. But at the end, you don't feel. I kind of feel like how I think girls feel when they realize it's just a one-night stand. You feel used up. It's like, man, I just spent like 6 hours on this. I was preparing. I took a drink. I cleaned up my apartment and everything. I got my bed made and now it's sweaty. I got this girl's stink on here. I did all that for what?
I mean, I started No Jumper as a person who was drinking heavily, fucking tons of girls, and fucking, you know, doing drugs. And that to me, sometimes when I look back on it, it's kind of amazing that like I even got the shit off the ground like that, because relatively quickly I realized I gotta fall back. Like, I can't be doing this. I can't live like this. I'm clear. Like, there was one time where I did an interview with somebody I really respected, and I had been hanging out with these 2 chicks until like 5 a.m, doing coke and hooking up with them, and then I fucking show up to interview this guy at like 9 a.m, and I'm off.
You're not all there.
I'm like 2 hours sleep. Probably did a fine job. It's not like anybody ever said like, oh, that interview sucked. But it's like, you know, how many times am I gonna do this? I know plenty of dudes who died from just doing coke and drinking like the same exact shit that I was doing at that point in my life. And I don't know. I mean, I think that like, I think really, all right. Like, I wanted to ask your thoughts on this. So throughout my life, I was always the dude who I just want to fuck a lot of chicks. Hot chicks, sure, but if they're not hot,
that's
kinda,
every guy.
Whatever, you know, I'm gonna still get it in. And then sometimes, every now and then, I would meet a dude, and it would be a dude who girls liked him and had no problem getting laid, but then but they held themselves in high regard, and they decided that I'm gonna have a girlfriend, or I'm gonna be if I do fuck a girl that I'm not in a relationship with, I'm gonna be really, really picky about it. And so you'd have like a dude who's like a high value guy, has a business or has a band or whatever the fuck it is, but he's really, really selective with who he fucks. He's only gonna fuck the girls that he really fucks with. And his number is like, 8 chicks. He's like 25. He's fucked 8 chicks, some shit like that. And I remember looking at dudes like that and being like, I could never. But I think it's a pretty smart strategy, because you really like you miss out because you don't get the experience, but you do like raise the exclusivity of your dick. And I think that in a lot of like social realms, like the mistake I made in a lot of realms, like I remember I moved to Long Beach, and I'm going to like the same bars every night, and there's girls at these bars, and I fuck a couple random girls, and then like one day I go to the bar again, and I realize like, oh, there's like 5 sets of girls here, and I fucked like 1 or 2 girls from every set of friends at the bar. And now as a result, and not the hottest chicks out of the group, right? But so now the hottest chicks in the group are looking at you. They're looking at me as my value is kind of degraded because I already fucked their fat friend, right? Yeah. And so like,
if you fuck the hot one, it's a different story.
This is true, yes. Because then you can easily fuck the less attractive ones after that. Yeah, for sure.
To gain your approval.
But I mean, I always like kind of wished that I had more self-control.
More standards.
To just be like, oh, I'm the new guy in town, and I'm not going to fuck anybody for a couple months. I'm going to wait to fuck the chicks that I actually think are really dope, give it some time. And if I do go fuck some random girl off Tinder, this is my problem, is I used to meet girls on Tinder, bring them to the local bar that also the local girls hung out at, and then they would see me with a different chick like every night. It's so stupid. Like I should have been bringing them to some other bar. But I was...
So would you encourage guys to live that lifestyle to get it out of the system, or should guys just avoid that and treat their body like a temple and be like a girl and keep their body count low so that people respect them? Which one is it?
I think about this sometimes because...
Like, how much satisfaction did you get out of the fucking like Molly, Coke lifestyle?
I think it's important.
Could you have gone without that looking back at the stage of your life? Was that something?
I guess I'm like glad that I can sit here and say, hey, I lived this type of life for a period of time.
Are you glad you can say that for the experience?
Exactly, yeah. I can tell you, like, it's not worth it. Like, I don't think, if I were you, I wouldn't really trust me saying cocaine is a fucking waste of your life and it's an absolutely insane, stupid thing.
In the moment, it's great.
Right, but if I hadn't done it, and I'm telling you that, like, the best thing that could happen is somebody hears that, me saying that, and they're like, oh, I don't have to make that fucking mistake. I can just learn from this guy who already did that, right? I'm sure I could have done it.
But why are you calling it a mistake if you enjoyed it? Because in the like Molly threesomes are just like the best. In the moment, it's like, is there really anything better? Like, you've done podcasting, you've done interviews with some of the best rappers. Is there a better feel, like, that in the moment right now when you're off of Molly and you're fucking 2 girls at the same time?
Dude,
there's no better feeling.
There were times where I remember I met a girl on Tinder. We take Molly together. We go back to the house. We start fucking. All of a sudden, I look up and it's light outside and I'm still banging her. It's been like 7 hours. And I've just been lost in the pussy. Yeah. And I remember this one in particular because I had to wake up in the morning and go like film some like 15-year-old kids at the skate park. And I just show up trying to act like I wasn't just doing what I was. I'm gonna tell the truth. I probably told them. I probably was like, man, I was fucking partying last night, whatever. But like, okay, I think dudes have to get it out of their system. I think like the first 20 chicks or the first 40 chicks that you fuck are really important. Like, you gotta like see what's out there.
Right.
You gotta fuck and kick it with 40 chicks just to like know what's out there. Just to know, like me after the first 20 chicks I fucked, if you would have asked me like what I was looking for in a girl, my answer would have been like fucking stupid, because it's like I wasn't experienced enough to really know, But then I think that like at a certain point, once it becomes like, sometimes I hear about rappers who will have like 100 girls at their house and they're fucking all of them. And I'm just like, dude, like, A, dangerous as fuck, unless you're wearing a condom, which I can't really relate to. But like, B, what is this bringing into your life at a certain point? Like, once you fucked 1,000 chicks, like, what is getting to 2,000 gonna do for you? I think you.
Bro, you don't wear condoms ever?
No.
What the fuck?
But
Yo, Cass, that's your man right here, bro. I be criticizing him too, man.
Bro. I only fuck girls who were tested. But also when
Come on, you know that's cap,
now, yeah, no, to do porn,
you make them show the results in your phone.
you have to be in the system, and like it has to be like registered. It's not like you could show up with fake paperwork. Like you're in the system, you show us you in the system. So it's like, but also that being said, before I was in porn, I was barely getting tested, and I was fucking chicks nonstop with no condom. So like a new chick like every fucking other day.
Is AIDS not real or some shit?
I think it's a gay thing, isn't it? I don't know.
It's like the monkey.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like very few heterosexual people get AIDS.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty
to
sure
scare the shit out of us. Man, now they're saying I'm selling my soul, bro.
But why? Because you're sitting down with a guy who doesn't believe in God? I mean, who the fuck cares?
Also, one guy said, like, these guys get so deep into conspiracy, they saw the 333 on your shirt, and I think 2 videos ago, I had 333 videos. They're like combining it, bro. Come on, chat.
This is a brand called Happy Meal, and they sent me a package of shirts, and I put this on because I thought it looked cool. So that's all I know. I don't know if there's anything deeper about it.
What rapper do you think died early enough to not reach the potential that they could have reached? You've seen them. You've seen them all rise and fall. You've interviewed all of them.
I mean, X and Juice WRLD, those stand out as like massive. Like, holy fuck, the world is so much worse off because we never got to see what they would have been doing. Like at this point, even in their career. Never mind when they were like 30. You know, I really feel like they were basically like the 2 most talented actual musicians I've dealt with the whole time doing this. Really,
they never wrote any music, right? They just always wanted in freestyle.
I mean, even if you just look at those 2, they had totally different recording styles in the sense that Juice WRLD could crank out like 7 songs in a night and would just like get in the booth and freestyle and just make out line after line after line and just be able to be in that state of mind. Whereas like, I feel like X was super self-critical and would like work on something, but like work on like melodies and shit for like days and like barely have a finished song, which is why on all his posthumous projects
there's so many random leaks that they're putting out. I think that's fucked up to put that shit out as actual music. It's like this was not intended to be released.
Honestly, like people always want my opinion. I'm like, I don't listen to that. Like, well, I have.
Chad, don't listen to that. Don't listen to these like half-ass, barely these iPhone recordings that they're putting out. Fuck that shit.
And it's like a Kanye verse, and then it's like X whispering into the phone for like 30
also, is
seconds.
Kanye a little bit fucked up for that? For buying that and using these recordings for their albums? Like how messed up do you think
that
it
was
is?
an X song. I think they, if anything, paid Kanye for the verse.
But remember that song "In a Minute," that Kanye song where the riff is like dun 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 dun, and then they have X yelling and they looped it 5 times to make it sound like he was yelling longer.
Is this the second Kanye X song?
It's like it was just a rock song with this guitar riff. I'm like, is this a little bit messed up that they actually turned this into a track? Yeah. It's just so manipulated, and this is not what it was supposed to sound like. They can kind of engineer.
I'm just not interested, dude. Like, I don't know. I mean, I support his family doing what they got to do, make as much money as they can from his catalog. I get that. Like, reality is that, like, they'll keep making money off it, but reality, like, there's going to become a point where no matter how famous your son was, it's like when it's been 20 years, you're probably not exactly, like, raking in money. So I understand why they want to get these projects out for the hardcore fans, but, yeah, I have no personal interest in it because it's just... to me, it's like, I want to hear the shit that even the Pop Smoke album, which like realistically was kind of like fairly fully formed.
Which one are you talking about? Shoot for the Stars?
Yeah. Like I didn't.
That one was basically finished.
Yeah, I didn't really love that. Like I felt like
really, I like that one.
I mean, I thought it was okay, but it wasn't like
there's a lot of hits on there.
That was a lot closer to like a real project than the X albums that have come out recently that are just like.
Cash cows.
Whatever.
You don't feel like that you should tell his mom or something like, oh, my fault. But you don't think it's like your business at all?
Nah, because it's like, I kind of doubt how much control she even has. And then also it's like, you know, they want to get this shit out just to fucking get money for the family or whatever. So I kind of feel like it would be in bad taste for me to like try to tell her what to do or whatever. Because it's like, it's so easy for me to ignore it. Like, those projects have nothing to do with X's legacy in my mind, you know?
But they do, though. They're on a Spotify. That's what shows up first.
I just ignore it. Like, I don't know. It's just...
Do you listen to anything besides hip-hop? I got that Pink Floyd poster in the back, Tapestry in the back. That's my favorite. That album changed my life.
I like indie rock, classic rock for sure. Like, a lot of that stuff. Punk and hardcore and metal. Like, I'm not...
like Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah, I love Rage Against the Machine when I was young. I haven't listened to them in a long time.
They sold out now. They got bought out by Hillary Clinton and the banks. It's like completely against taking the power back.
What was that shit that they had on the wall? Like during their recent show, they had like a people were pissed off at them.
What was like a Democratic Party sign?
Some shit
a gay
about
pride
like,
flag.
Trans people are
fuck out of here, bro.
Shit. I'm like, bro.
How do they not see the irony in that?
How do I not see the irony on? At one point, I pull up to my mom's house, and there's a fucking, her neighbor has a sign that has like all these like liberal tenets, and one of them is science is real, and the next one is like trans women are women. And I'm like, you need to think a little harder. You need to dig in a little bit deeper. Like, there's more to this issue, bruh. A little bit of nuance. Might not be enough to fit on the flag.
Do you feel cheated by always having to pull out and prawn for the shot versus getting more pleasure by keeping it in?
Well, when you put it like that, yeah, because when I was trying to get my girl pregnant / like during the pregnancy,
that was the best ever, right?
Oh my god, it was just cream pie city, just fucking just filling her. It felt so good. Like, there's something.
Wait, did she conceive on camera?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Well,
because the last like threesome we had before we had the kid, like before she got pregnant, you know Emily Willis?
No.
We were at, she's a real famous porn star. She's hot. We were
not open that on stream.
We were at Logan Paul. No, KSI fighting Logan Paul, and then like she was there with us, and she left with us.
Oh yeah,
and she was eating my ass while I was fucking my girl. And I was thinking, I'm like, if this is the time I impregnate my girl, that's the best story ever.
But what about the kid? What about the kid here?
I don't really want her to know that story unless she's way older. But
she's gonna hear it. You're putting it out online.
Hey, Dad was a freak. Fuck it. I had a tongue in my ass.
What?
When I made you.
You don't think it's important to raise your kid with the sense of some moral?
Yes, I just don't think there's anything immoral about doing porn. You know, I think there would be something immoral if she was doing porn as a child.
I thought you said
as an adult.
Okay, you said 25.
I think for adults, it's just, this is like easy. You know, it's like, I mean, that girl Emily, like we first fucked her when she was like 20, and it's like, I mean, granted, she had already fucked like, I don't know, 40 guys on camera or whatever.
On camera, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, she made that choice, and I think she's happy with.
That's too bad. I look at pictures. She's hot now. Like, I know she had her tongue. Like, she ate. Like, she. Oh, now I can't. I don't even want to.
She consumed my booty.
Ew, bro. Ew,
man. It was puckered.
Chat, you cannot watch her now just because of like.
Disgusting.
Just don't give me a visual, please. We're gonna need to say a prayer after this, chat. Disgusting.
She's also the same girl that I had a scene with. They said Vosh wants to talk. You ever had him on here?
Nah, I think guy's a liberal cuck.
I have like multiple like 4-hour Destiny versus Vosh arguments like saved that I have to watch at some point in my life.
You're really into those debates. Do you think you want to get in? Would you get onto one of my panels?
Sure.
On Discord? Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Dion called me earlier, but I ignored his FaceTime because I was into the call. Maybe I should FaceTime him now? I don't really.
Maybe I should call like some satanic rappers.
Yeah. Damn, yeah, your phone is full of rappers. Can you get a rapper on the stream right now? Ooh, chat, that'll be a WS stream, man.
Like what, just on FaceTime?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder who could I call? Like who should we talk to? Like,
surprise me.
Any ideas?
I'm a huge hip hop fan. I'm a huge, I know everybody. Like,
I'm trying to think of like who would actually be exciting. I should look at the chat. They'll probably have ideas.
Well, somebody that I could ask some satanic questions about if they sold their soul.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Well, or just.
You can't call Cardi, can you?
No,
Cardi won't pick up.
I don't have Uzi's number either.
Chad, who's the most satanic rapper that we could get on the stream right now?
Satanist, dude. And someone I actually like know well enough to have their phone number. Compton AD. That's funny. I don't have Trippy's number either. I feel like I probably had it like 6 years ago, but I highly doubt he has the same number. Get Drake.
21 Savage. He's got he's got a knife.
I don't have his number either. I'm not as tapped in as people think I am. I don't know Suicide Boy's number. That's the reality though, is I just like know a shitload of rappers, but don't really care enough to like text them and like I like interview like one of the most famous rappers. Like I know he fucks with me, like Game. Well, no, I got Game's number, but like most of them, I just don't. I don't know. I just don't really like get their numbers or like stay in touch like that. I keep it like a little bit more with business. I feel like
just like K-Flock.
This is really making me realize how few rappers' numbers I have because I Lil Nas X.
Nah, you have his number?
No.
Okay,
that would be sick. He used to follow me, and then I fucking
that guy. Like, how do you watch what he's done and say that he didn't sell his soul? How do you say that guy is not just a slave for the industry?
But what did he do that sold his soul? He just
working on Satan.
I mean,
working on Satan.
There is no Satan. So it's like
even if you don't think that Satan's real or God is real,
tweak it. It's like twerking on Dumbledore.
Okay, but even if you don't think that Satan is real or God is real, isn't that the perfect representation of good and evil? God represents good. Satan represents evil. If you are pushing evil in people's faces, they start acting evil. That's why like kids are 14-year-olds like running around with pistols in the Bronx because of the music. They are promoting evil in the music.
I might be getting a little bit too deep here, but I don't really think that if you look at what Satan did in the Bible, I think the main gist of like why somebody like me might want to have a fucking satanic symbol on his hand.
That's a Satan symbol?
Well, it's just a tattoo, but in reality it's a Baphomet, which is like a fucking satanic symbol, yeah. But is because if you actually look at what Satan did in the Bible, it wasn't much besides saying like, hey, fuck this shit, I'm gonna do my own thing. Like Satan as a character, to me, is very American. We said, hey,
fuck this shit, I'm gonna do my own thing.
England, fuck you. We're going over here. Oh, you want us to pay taxes? No, we're throwing the tea in the river. Why? I don't know.
So you're W Satan?
I just think that like if you see someone wearing a Satan shirt, or if you wonder why like a metal band would embrace Satan, I think it's because A, they don't believe in Christianity, so it's not like they're actually challenged by.
And you can not be a Christian and also not be a Satanist.
But you cannot be a Christian and then embrace the symbol in the Bible that basically is like the whole Bible is based on smearing this guy, this fictional character, as a fucking bad entity. And I don't really think it's true. I don't really think that there's like that much about Satan in the Bible that was bad, right? I don't even know what
Satan wasn't bad.
What did he do that was bad in the Bible? He just dipped out and said, "I'm gonna do my own thing. Fuck y'all."
Then he created sin.
I mean, did he? I don't know.
He's the reason that hell exists.
Yeah, but I mean, what's wrong with hell?
You burn for eternity.
Do you really though? Do we know anyone who's been to hell? Like, I mean, to me, this all seems like metaphors. So it's kind of like, who the fuck cares? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, that's why you'll see a metal band use satanic imagery. A, they don't believe in God, so they think that the whole thing's made up. It's like wearing a fucking shirt it's like wearing a Darth Vader shirt. Darth Vader is a very bad character in those movies, from what I understand. I haven't seen him, but like, you know.
But he became good at the end. He had some redemption. He picked the good side at the end. Satan's still Satan.
I've seen people wearing like Bin Laden shirts.
Why?
I know. I don't really know why. It seems kind of offensive, but I'm saying.
Also, like, Bin Laden was a CIA operative in Minecraft, and 9/11 was construed by Dick Cheney and some rich people from, but wherever. But in Minecraft, hypothetically.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the bad guy. It's fun to fuck with the bad guy, but also don't think that Satan really seemed objectively that bad. And a lot of like metal dudes, like what is their ethos? They're the metal dudes that basically people like Cardi and Uzi are kind of trying to look like. Their whole mentality is fuck everybody. I'm my own person. I'm gonna do what I want. Fuck what society says.
Fuck that. Yeah. We need to care about other people. That's like saying anti-empathy. Do whatever I want. Encourages evil behavior. If you don't have any sense of compass or like.
No, I agree. If doing your own thing and being your own person goes up to and including, raping people, killing people, doing things that clearly are far beyond the realm of like decisions that you should be able to make about somebody, even walking up to somebody on the street and pushing them. Why is that wrong? Even if you don't like the fucking way they look, it's because, for the most part, people should leave each other alone. And that's like one of the highest tenets I think that we should kind of obey, right? Is like, don't fuck with me. Like, don't fucking get in my space. Don't come to my house and shit on the couch, right? Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want in your house, but don't come up in my house and fuck with my shit.
Okay, but if you're a sane person who's like, do whatever I want, then you can do that.
No, but I think it's like, do whatever I want in the sense of like, within the framework of not negatively impacting other people. Or at least that's what I would assume most people are taking from it. Yeah.
But Cardi lyrics are kill me a op, kill my ops, kill, murder, murder.
Cardi's a dork. He's just saying a bunch of cool sounding shit because he wants to make...
Which is fucked up because it gets programmed in your... I know it sounds good, but one of the songs is just over and over again repeating, fuck, what was like the fourth song on the album?
I feel like God, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's all just... Fuck, what was the goddamn one?
No, you want to know what good one is?
No, when I go to sleep, I dream about murder.
Yeah.
When I go to sleep, I dream about murder. When I go to sleep, it's literally 10 times in a row. Like, what is that doing to people's heads?
When I heard that,
And then you go to sleep and you dream about murder.
I think
and then
you are a little different because you take it like you think he's trying to be serious. I think
it doesn't even matter if he's taking
lame.
I know. I don't even. It sounds good, but even it doesn't matter if he's taking it seriously or not.
Yeah.
What happens when you have a generation of people listening to lyrics? When I go to sleep, I dream about murder. When I go to sleep, I dream about murder. And you have this chant internalized in your brain, and you're going to sleep and you dream about murder. Is that good for the generation of people? No.
No, all these dudes. Okay.
It's bad. This is bad
If
music.
we want to make hip hop less violent, the best thing that could happen is just basically people, the culture becoming less violent, the culture celebrating violence less. You know, like somebody, and I think you're seeing a little bit of that now where it's like Young Thug gets locked up. And yes, Young Thug, everybody loves Young Thug. But as people are realizing, like, oh, Young Thug was potentially involved in like a lot of murders.
Yeah,
but people
dudes play GTA in real life.
People are kind of falling back a little bit more and not maybe necessarily wanting to be the ones out here saying like, no, he's the best, he's the ill rapper, so fuck whatever you're saying and shit. Because I think as hip hop gets a little older, people are starting to realize like, oh, we can't just back people up because they're rappers. We have to actually hold people to some kind of fucking standard, right?
And we really don't for the most part.
I think hip hop is starting to like slowly.
Barely. You're saying that we should like, yeah, fuck society. I could do whatever I want. Nothing matters. Fuck everybody. Satan.
No, but okay, you're kind of taking like fuck everybody, do whatever you want in like a different direction than what I was thinking. I was thinking of that, but within the framework of like doing your own thing, not necessarily following along with the sheep, expressing yourself, whatever, but also not. You're not like, I don't think like the idea that like people wearing Satan shirts necessarily think that it's good to like do evil to people. But yo, like, think about this one. 21 Savage tweeted out.
Throw your Satan shirts out. That's what I think.
Okay, 21 Savage put out a tweet that said, yo, Atlanta, y'all tripping, you need to put the guns down. Some shit like that. People start immediately responding. Yeah, he's got the most violent lyrics you've ever heard in the history of rap.
All he raps about is murder. He has a knife tatted on his forehead and he's saying, Atlanta, put the guns down. Now you want to be a...
And then, okay, so people call him out. So people say that exact thing. And then he says, that's just music. I wouldn't be able to feed my family if I made songs talking about some bullshit. I talk about the shit people want to hear, yada, yada, yada. Okay. This to me is kind of a bait and switch, right? Because if you had asked 21 Savage in the very beginning of his career, and I was a very, very big fan of him like early on, if you had said, why are your verses like that? Why are you talking about guns and shit? You say, that's what I live. Like that is the life that I've lived, and that's it. Now he wants to tell us that actually I'm not on that, which I believe because you're a rich, successful rapper.
But that's still all he raps about.
But if it's all he raps about, it's like the point isn't like we don't think you're out shooting people, but we think that by you being one of the most popular rappers and you saying these things that you're making killing cool, you're making violence cool, you need to at some point reckon with that. And I almost have like seen like almost zero rappers who have been honest with themselves about that kind of shit, you know?
They just say like, this is the life I live. Oh, it's been like 6 years, you're a multi-millionaire. Rap about something else, but they're still talking about streets and ops and blood. And
I love the fucking music, so I get it.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Demon music, chat, it sounds good.
I would kind of respect 21 more in that particular situation. I do respect him in general, but I would kind of respect him more if he were to say, this is the life that I grew up in, and me and my fucking people had to protect ourselves. And he actually stood on it and didn't just say, oh, it's art. Because I don't really think it's art. I think you're talking about shit that you've actually been through for the most part. It's not like you're still spinning blocks, but I know you're not just making this shit up, because we don't listen to people who just make it up. We listen to people who can say this shit.
We want people to live that real life. We want to hear real murder confessions. Real murder confessions sound good. K-Flock blew up so fast, bro. This shit goes hard, bro. I've been getting sturdy on my stream too, but like at the same time, it's like, man, this guy's a fucking teenager, go outside killing people in broad day.
Yeah. And I mean, me being interested in K-Flock is not any different than me being into fucking Chief Keef in 2011. The thing is that now I'm 11 years older, and it's just harder for me to just be like, oh, that's dope. He's talking about shooting his ops. Oh, that's dope. He's talking about popping a perk and popping 5 more perks. It's like, as you get older, it gets harder and harder, because it's like, you know, I have a 2-year-old. By the time my kid is 20, like, so let's say I have a boy and he's fucking 20. I mean, how the fuck am I going to just drive around listening to music about killing people and just act like it's all good? That can only last so long, because at some point you're going to have to explain to your kid, like, I like this music, but what they're talking about is genocide.
Yeah, you should probably not play that around your kid. You should play like the Beatles,
I know, I do.
Mozart.
I play a lot of like soft rock around or indie rock and shit, but then
Elton John.
I also play a lot of fucking Rio the Young OG, and at a certain point I'm gonna have to explain why he said, my bitch will hit you with the dick. She a fucking tranny.
You'll explain, but like, are you afraid of that it might program in her brain a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you could call, they're saying call Yeet. You have Yeet number?
No, I don't. I DM'd him a little bit, but no. Okay, you know what? Like, there was a 42 Doug song I kept listening to where he was saying like, they call me Mr. Fuck a Hoe and never call it back, or some shit like that. And I was like thinking about it, like, damn, if my daughter was like 11 and like knew how to listen to that lyric and like ask me what it meant, what the fuck am I gonna say? He thinks it's
Is he locked
cool.
up right now?
He is locked up.
Damn.
He thinks it's cool that after he sleeps with a woman, which is, you know, sex, the thing that we've taught you about, and we taught you it's very sacred and important. Oh, after he does that with a woman, he's not going to call her ever again because he doesn't want anything to do with her, and he really kind of like tricked her into having sex with her in the first place. I mean, that's not even like the violence or the drugs, but that's like the casual misogyny that like people barely even like notice in rap music. That is like a terrible message for young kids.
No, misogyny sounds good.
It sounds good, yeah. But I mean, and
it's saying call Zillakami. You have his number?
No. Zillakami, no.
Zillakami, my fault.
He is out here though. I could probably get his number. Maybe he'll come to the jam. But he like, I mean, and hey, that's good for him. Like, that's basically where I was at when I was single. Those fucking chicks are not calling him back. Obviously, like, I'm gonna call fucking
misogyny
5 million
is
girls.
Cool. But I think what I'm realizing from the stream is that a lot of things that are cool and that you can get cool points for is like pretty. It's at someone else's expense,
and it's
like
bad
murder
for you in the long run. Yeah, because the murder shit. Like, I'm sure if we could get the families of the kids that Young Thug allegedly ordered their murders, and we were to listen to the mom talk about this is what happened after this guy killed my kid or whatever, it's like it would be a lot harder for us to sit here and be like, free Thug.
Oh, can you call Ski Mask?
I have.
Oh, I went to one of his concerts in 2018. Like,
he's someone. All right.
I've seen him live like 4 or 5 times. Big fan of Ski Mask.
Look at this. I have 4 Ski Master Slump God numbers.
Think you're having to change it?
Do you think that any of them will work? That one doesn't seem like it's it.
There's no way he has any idea who I am, Shy.
Damn. One of these has to be real. But I feel like he probably might have even got a new number since they all... Damn. I feel like he's actually... I'm like clicking the message thing on each different version of his name.
You gotta delete the old numbers.
Yeah, I know. I have 4 different numbers for him.
Chad, W Ski Mask or L Ski Mask?
Ski Mask's hard. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna try all 4 numbers. Skeer.
No rappers we can get on?
I don't really...
I wanted to press one of them about this demon shit.
I want to get you on here with Sharp.
Who's Sharp?
That's my boy. Like, fucking, he does podcasts on our channel. He used to be a pimp. He's fucking crazy as fuck.
Pimps are cool. Pimps are very fun to talk to.
He's sick. We definitely got to get you on.
They're saying they're spamming W Ski Mask.
Ski Mask is the homie, but I got 4 numbers and none of them seem to be active. This is really showing like the low attention to my rapper friendships that I actually have.
Yo, fuck you for saying call Lil P, bro. Come on, don't laugh at that, Adam.
That's bad. Come on, they always have the worst fucking jokes, dude.
That's a little funny though. Kanye said it best. Y'all talk about gun reform, but rap about shooting y'all ops. Malcolm X also said celebrities should not be leaders. That's true.
Like, you want to know one thing that
Malcolm X was a celebrity though.
Almost every rapper would agree that gun control is a bad idea. That they want to be able to carry guns, that if they don't have guns, the less guns that you're legally able to hold, the more that criminals are just going to have guns. So, I mean, gun control, like, this is one thing that I don't even necessarily know if, like, people talk about in the commentary space or whatever, but, like, rappers are conservative.
Yeah. A lot of them are just afraid to talk about it. Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't. I voted for Hillary Clinton.
You voted for Hillary?
I didn't.
No! Oh, yo, Adam voted for Hillary?
I don't like Trump, dude. He's a piece of shit.
What do you like about Hillary? Name
a lot, but
name one thing about Hillary.
Both votes I've cast in my life were because I didn't want Donald Trump to be president.
What's wrong with Trump?
He's a piece of shit.
He's funny.
He doesn't respect the process of our electorate.
Does he?
I mean, he's went very out of his way trying to subvert the outcome of the election.
Well, we got to be really careful when we talk about this because you saw they deleted the Nelk stream talking about how they.
What I'm saying is what. Oh yeah, well you probably don't want to say your response because that'll be what gets us deleted. But I think Trump's a piece of shit, and it is kind of weird that like both of the votes that I've cast for president in my life were basically just anti-Trump votes. Because look at Joe Biden.
It's the worst ever. The worst ever.
They gotta wheel him out on a fucking stretcher to get him on stage. I don't know. If I had to vote right now, I'd probably just.
So you didn't vote for the president. You voted just anti-Trump.
Yeah, I thought it was an existential threat to our democracy, and I think that was basically proven by.
You think he did a pretty good job?
I think that he did a good job with some things, like in the sense, the economy was good. I think that like he was pretty reasonable about immigration. You know, I think that like the wall really got a bad fucking rap for something that seems like a pretty fucking fair idea, right? Like why would we not want?
You don't consider yourself a conservative? Like you like guns?
I think
you don't want to. I guarantee you,
man. Yeah, but then I say the thing about how I thought that Trump was an existential threat to our democracy, and you're immediately like, oh, he's a liberal. Like I'm playing both sides. I have many opinions that go all over the place, you know?
Okay, but let me guess a couple conservative values about you. You
can ask me anything.
You don't like paying taxes. You would rather have less taxes.
Yeah, but I am okay with the idea of paying taxes to go into, you know, our society and to take care of people that are less fortunate than I am. Like, I'm not...
What? The taxes don't go to less fortunate people. It all goes to the government.
And that is a problem.
It all goes to Hillary Clinton's pockets.
That's the thing that you have to be able to wrap your head around as a person who, you know, thinks that, like, that taxes are not distributed fairly, but that taxes are important, and that, like, you know, I made it to this point in my life.
They just print more money.
I would be a total fucking asshole if I said that I don't think that like a decent percentage of the money I make should go to people who are in a more fucked up position, right? Like I'm one of the few dudes who's able to like make it off of my personality and make a exorbitant amount of money. Like I think of course it's fair that I pay my fair share. That being said, I mean, paying like 50% of the fucking money I make to the government kind of sucks, but...
Adam's dad was pardoned by Bill Clinton. Stay woke.
That's true.
What? Tell me that story.
So, my family growing up, Democratic politics. My dad was an alderman in the small city that we grew up in Nashua, New Hampshire, which is basically just like the lowest level, like local government type thing, making like basic ass decisions about whatever. And my uncle like basically like ran for governor and all this stuff. So I grew up around like New Hampshire Democrats. That was the whole fucking scene. A normal Sunday for us would be like go and hold fucking signs, vote for Bill Clinton on the side of the road, and like try to get people to honk at you and shit like that. Like that was just a part of my family growing up. My parents were into that. And my dad at a certain point basically was accused, because he also worked for this construction company, he was accused of using his power by working for the city to get work for the construction company, right, that he worked for. So basically like using his power in the local government to get jobs for his business that he worked for, basically corruption. Yeah, and he was accused of it. And the real thing is that like my dad wasn't the most high level employee at this construction firm. They wanted this dude who fucking owned it, right? And my dad wouldn't snitch on him because my dad really felt like he hadn't done anything wrong, and he's not going to turn on this guy to just get out of this situation. So like really like very early on, my dad taught me the importance of taking the rap when it's your fault and not being a snitch or whatever. So even though my dad wasn't a criminal, he taught me that because he went and had to sit down and do like a year in federal prison.
What? Wait, what was the business?
For this construction company that he was working for, like basically accused of all this, whatever. He ends up taking a year plea bargain because if he had gone to court, he might have had to get like, 5 or 10 years or some shit like that, potentially if he had lost on any of the charges. So then my dad gets out, he goes back to normal life, he stays out of politics, whatever. And then when presidents leave office, they typically will pardon a bunch of people that are like their friends or their associates or people who have done favors for them over the years. And like Trump really like did it in a different way because he fucking pardoned people all throughout his term, which nobody had ever done before as a president. And he was pardoning a lot of people who had like accused of violent crimes and like weird shit like the Kodak and Lil Wayne shit, like Bill Clinton I think he pardoned like 30 people, and they were all like basically just like people who had worked with him on his campaign, or I don't know what all the situations were, but he basically like did that. It doesn't really change anything for my dad except for the fact that he was no longer a felon legally, like
did he know Bill Clinton?
Yeah, because yeah. So growing up in like,
did he go to the island?
No, people always ask that now. He's never been to the island.
Did you go to the island?
I did not go. I was a kid though, so if I had gone to the island, I probably would have been getting raped by somebody. So I mean, realistically.
Don't laugh at that. Don't.
Yeah, but okay, my dad, when Bill Clinton was running, like New Hampshire is a really big deal in running for president because it's the state that does the first primary, or at least it used to be. I'm not 100% sure if it still is, but my dad worked on Bill Clinton's campaign like really early on.
Your dad campaigned for Bill Clinton?
Yes, hardcore, and me too. I met him a bunch of times.
Oh, that's why he voted for Hillary, bro. The Clintons fucked up Haiti.
No, but my parents don't give a fuck about Hillary, or they don't care about any of that. That's like 40 years ago to them, or 30 years ago, whatever. It's like
the Clintons fucked up Haiti bad, bro.
Did they?
Yeah, the Clinton Foundation and the stuff they. Oh my god, the Clintons are like.
I'll learn more. But yeah, so my dad like basically had just like helped him early on in his career, and that's why he was basically able to get the pardon. I don't know if he like.
Have you met Bill Clinton?
Yeah, a bunch of times. But
You've met Bill Clinton a bunch of times?
Yeah, but I was like 10. I think there's like pictures of me like standing next to him in the White House.
What?
I went to the White House like one time.
No way.
I think once, maybe twice. Yeah.
Is there pictures of it?
Yeah, if you search ADAM22 Bill Clinton, it might come up.
No way, bro.
Or it might not. Oh, see, okay. See that green thing? That green thing? Look at that. That's a fucking poster that I made when I was a fucking 9-year-old or whatever. Like before fucking we went to see. Oh my god, this is so lame. Look at this. In the corner, this is who like Bill Clinton was running against, was this guy like Harkin. And look how I drew a picture of Harkin, and he's bench pressing like a really shitty little weight. And then like look at Clinton, and he's lifting like a really big weight.
Wait.
And then I wrote Clinton takes the cake.
Clinton takes the cake?
I was like 9, dude.
Wait a sec. Oh, this.
And look at the picture I drew of Bill Clinton.
Hold on.
He has a fucking flat top. Did I think he was a black man? I don't know. But then you can look to the side of it and look at Bill Clinton's fucking autograph right here. Adam, great poster, Bill Clinton.
You have an autograph from Bill Clinton?
Yeah. And then look, Adam Graham is on grade 2 schooler, Charlotte Avenue. Spelled Charlotte and Avenue wrong. That's the elementary school.
Wait, so Adam, great poster, Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Adam, grandma is...
Grand Mason, but yeah.
Is Grand Mason?
Yeah. Or Gramazon, however you want to say it. But, yeah, dude, I was a fucking dork. Look at this shit. But yeah, I was wrapped up in the politics game even as a kid. I mean, I didn't really know anything about it at this time. I was just sort of repping what my parents were repping. But I mean, I like Bill Clinton. Even as a kid, he just seemed pretty badass. And then he got his dick sucked, and I was like, damn, I really like this guy.
Bill Clinton was on the island.
Yeah, was he though? He was on the island, but they never really like linked him with actually fucking any girls there, right?
Bro, what else are you doing on the island? Why else are you going to Epstein's island?
If I didn't know it was a rape island, I probably would have been like, yeah, I'll go to the fucking island. It's an island.
He knew what the fuck was going on.
You got a private plane on an island? I guess we're going to the island, right? I don't know. Clinton takes the cake. That shit's embarrassing.
Bro, Pablo Escobar just donated 100 and said, be careful, Sneako. They're trying to Kevin Samuels you. Trust nobody. Mean? Well, you know what happened to Kevin Samuels, right?
Oh, you think there's a conspiracy to kill him?
Hell yeah.
Or maybe it's because we're drinking Red Bull late at night. That was a Kevin Samuels thing. Oof.
You should start getting into politics.
Dude, you had 600K.
Yeah, I know. I was invested in the conversation, so I didn't want to talk about it. Just the 600K.
Sick.
Yo, W600K chat.
600K in the chat.
Hit that live on the stream. What the hell is a Freemason? I want to look that up now.
Yeah, look it up. I don't know. It's like a secretive society that allegedly like is connected to a shitload of like important people, I guess, and like I don't know. Freemason. Freemasonry or Masonry refers to fraternal organizations that trace their origins to the local guilds of stonemasons that, from the end of the 13th century, regulated the qualifications of stonemasons and their interactions with authorities and clients. That really makes it sound like no big deal. They regulated the qualifications of stonemasons. So I guess they had humble beginnings, whatever they may have turned into.
I think chat thinks it's Illuminati, but I think it's just like a bunch of working class people.
But I don't know.
Freemasonry refers to the fraternal organization.
Look at Freemason musicians. They're letting black guys in. They got Nat King Cole,
Duke Ellington,
they're
Mozart.
Inclusive. That's nice.
What religions are Masons? It's not a religion.
Who's like a modern Freemason if Wolfgang Amadeus and Nat King Cole are the examples that pop up like from a million fucking years ago?
Famous Freemasons.
Or like, yeah, there you go.
Franklin D. Roosevelt and Gerald Ford. Duke Ellington, Harry. Yeah, who's modern?
But I want to know, like, what was them being a Freemason? Like, what? And obviously, people are going to say that they're not being honest about what it consists of. But do you go to like a couple meetings a year, and it's like a little club, and you get like a jacket, or is it some shit where like, you know, every day you got to go like sacrifice a baby? Is it some Epstein? Is it some island shit? I definitely don't think it's like a pedophile organization.
Let's see. Was Bill Clinton a Freemason? Truman, Edgar Hoover,
or Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer, John Glenn.
Thought that was just an iced tea. You used to drink those?
Yeah.
When I lived in Brooklyn,
did he die?
Everyone would just drink Arizona iced teas all day. Yo, honestly, riding bikes today is probably the most like exercise I've gotten in my adult life. Like, I fucking rode bikes.
You said you'd be working out. That's how you handle all these women.
Yeah, but I would work out like an hour in the morning. Maybe I'll do another hour later. It's like pretty minimal in comparison to today, just like riding around for that fucking long.
I wanted to see you do some tricks. I didn't see you do anything.
Yeah, I didn't do shit today. But then I feel like even just riding around is a lot of energy. But then like you're like, oh yeah, like come to my spot. I look, it's like a 20-minute pedal. I'm like, well, I can take an Uber. And then I'm like, nah, I'm riding there. Fuck it.
Yo, Hasanabi's reacting right now. Or Lasanabi.
To us?
Yeah.
Shut
what you think of him? That's your favorite. You both voted for Hillary.
Well,
both fans of Biden.
My brother.
Your brethren.
What do you think he's saying about us? He's like reacting to us in real time. That's trippy.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him.
He's calling me an incel right now. Hey, what's up, Lasanabi's chat? You all suck. Incel, you're an incel.
But what if
liberal fucking echo chamber, all you losers, fat with green hair. Your whole chat's a bunch of losers. You preach complacency. Your stream sucks. Keep reacting. Sorry, what?
I don't know.
Talking about Bill Clinton.
I just
600K, W600K. How you feel about that, Lasanabi? We go up, man. Come for all your Twitch fucking followers, man.
Damn.
Why you think I have to stream on YouTube? Because I'd be banned on Twitch today. You stream on Twitch?
I play poker on Twitch, so I do, but I also like don't fucking do it that often. So I do like 99.9% of my shit on YouTube.
I was reacting to a video of me right now, but I want to people he's doing right now.
I was thinking that would make more sense because like a video, at least it's like cut. He knows what part he's gonna react to.
Yeah, if he knows when to call me an incel. If
he was watching this and his chat had to hear me like complaining about being sore from riding bikes today, I would feel genuinely kind of bad for his chat. Dude, I DM'd OJ Simpson today. I was just like, bro, do my podcast.
What do you do it?
I don't know. He didn't respond, but I just figured, you know, you got to shoot your shot. Like, all my best interviews kind of come around usually because I fucking just shoot the shot. So I got to try.
Oh, he's talking about the time I went to a swinger party.
You did?
Yeah.
How was that? I still haven't even done that.
It was weird. It was weird.
I keep going to porn parties and nobody's fucking. They're all boring, dude. They fucking do all their banging in private, I'm pretty sure.
That's better.
Yeah.
Swinger parties are weird, and I realize it's mostly older people and ugly people who want to do, or like, who would rather have threesomes, but they need to just be around other people.
But did you have sex at it? Or
yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah,
okay.
I did. Only with my girl.
You went with a girl, okay. Yeah. But were there like a lot of people fucking out in front of everybody?
Yeah.
Damn, see, I still haven't been to a party like that.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
cool. It just smells bad. It smells bad. It's a weird vibe. I was listening. You know Patrice O'Neal?
Yeah.
Patrice O'Neal put me on to that. He's saying that was the best way to. That's what I thought was the best way to start an open relationship. Because he's saying that it needs to be fair. That if I'm gonna fuck other chicks, then she's got to be able to do it too. So I'm like, all right, let me be around it, and nah.
All right, this is my thing. This is my thing for people to like understand my relationship is that my girl doesn't give a fuck about seeing me bang a girl in front of her. She actually thinks it's hot. We have very connected sexual experiences when me and her are fucking another girl together, even if it's on camera. I feel like it makes me and my girl closer. A lot of times we'll go home and we'll fuck right after, just because we're so turned on by the whole experience, right? But the reason why, like, my girl would be furious about, like, us being in a real open relationship where, like, oh, it's Friday night and I'm gonna go bang some chick while you are like posting on the couch eating fucking Twizzlers and watching Netflix. Like, that is the thing that I think makes open relationships unlikely to work, is that, like, you know, it's like anytime you're spending time trying to fuck with another person, you're not spending time with your main chick, you know? And that to me is like gonna be hard to get past. Even let's say me and my girl had an open relationship, and, you know, it's a fucking Wednesday night, and I know people who are in open relationships who tell me that they do stuff like this, like, oh, they'll call their girl, hey, I met this girl at the bar at a happy hour, and we're getting along really good, and we're gonna get a hotel room, we're gonna fuck. Bro, like, imagine your girl, like, even if she's okay with the actual idea of you having sex with another woman, but the idea of her knowing that you're choosing to spend your night in some other pussy instead of hers,
Is cheating?
it just seems like it's very unlikely to work out in the long run.
So you do it in front, you share.
Yeah. But when we fuck other girls together, it's a communal experience. It's like taking acid and losing ourselves in another girl's vagina for 20 minutes or a half hour or whatever. But then, yeah, our relationship's actually, like, very tame in comparison. I mean, we don't go out, we don't party. We used to go out and party and do coke, whatever, but not anymore. And now we're kind of boring. And sometimes she's even like,
You're becoming parents.
and sometimes she's like, you know, sometimes I feel like I made enough money and, like, I'd rather just be a parent. And I tell her, like, I would be happy to fucking just support you and just, like, allow you to do that, you know? But she's still got some business moves that she wants to make and all that shit, so.
What'd you think about Lasanabi?
I mean, I don't know that much about him.
You're just getting into this political streamer space.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I haven't really, like, watched that much of his shit, to be real, so I wouldn't really be able to. I'll probably disagree with him on plenty of stuff and agree with him on a bunch of stuff. Destiny is bae, so.
Destiny's bae?
Destiny kind of bae. Like, I really resonate with his
Destiny's
shit.
bi.
Okay, not like that then. I'm not gonna fuck. Is he bi?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
I found out about that on Fresh Fit. I didn't even know.
Never mind. I don't fuck with him. Just kidding. No, but yeah.
Monster Energy logo is Hebrew numerals 666. Why Adam repping the Sin Incarnate?
Go to YouTube and type, like, Monster Energy Devil video. There's this fucking crazy viral video of this lady, like, explaining why Monster Energy is satanic.
First one?
That one, top one. I
That's
love
great.
this. Oh, God.
Is it true?
I haven't seen it in like 10 years, but it's so fucking funny. Well, it says it came out 4 years ago. I don't know if I believe that. This lady is so sick. And this lady's basically in your chat because somebody just tried to make the same argument that this lady is making about... Look at it. It'll be better once we can hear it, but...
I'll take these.
Sweet. Guys, we're going to make you listen to this again. Actually, is the audio not on?
Got to do. Look at your M closely. There's a gap right here in the letter M. It's never connected. So you go into Hebrew. The letter Vav is also the number 6. Short top, long tail. Short top, long tail. You could have here in Hebrew 666 on the can. But my interest is the word monster. What do you see in the O? There's a cross.
Okay.
What has Christ got to do with an energy drink, let alone the name Monster? So I thought, well, maybe
You
this
think
is...
this is all horseshit?
Yeah.
Wait, turn it up. Is it low?
Kind of, yeah.
Hold up. Let me see the...
It's cool though. I remember that. I said this just so many times back in the day.
It's a Christian company then. BFC at the bottom of the can. Do you know what that stands for? That's the F word. Big can. In fact, they write it on the side of the can, so I know that's the F word.
Okay.
Now, do you know what a MILF is?
Yes.
That's on the box. MILFs, dig it, and you will too. This is not a Christian company at all. So why
It's
would
not a Christian company.
the cross on the can? Here is the message. Antichrist. 666 in Hebrew. And then the Bible talks about the beast in Revelation. And look at Monster's ad. This
Unleash
is
the beast.
You see,
Unleash the beast. Good point. Good point. Are you drinking a Monster? No, you're not.
No.
You want a Monster shirt?
It's subverting the Monster logo, I believe, would be more accurate, but...
these M's everywhere. Hats, t-shirts, bumper stickers. Is there another agenda here? If God can use people and product, so can Satan. And look at it this way. Even if the M was not the issue, you cannot deny that that is a cross. And what is witchcraft? When the cross goes upside down. Bottoms up.
Bottoms
And the
up.
devil laughs.
And the devil
Good point.
laughs. Dude, she has such a sick little presentation.
Good point.
It's like she's trying to sell me a fucking...
And she's a
set of
BMX
knives.
champion. She's one of yours.
But I don't understand why it says in the description, a BMX champion has dropped Monster Energy as sponsor because he says their logo and advertising are unchristian. I've been part of BMX for... Oh, Colton Satterfield. Dude. Oh, that dude. Oh, my God. I shouldn't say it.
What?
No, he just like dated this girl for a while back in the day, and I fucked this girl, but that was like 10 plus years ago, so I'm sure he's like married. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but I remember like being like, hell yeah, this is a W for Satan. I banged his ex. She was hot too. Fuck. I wish I could remember her name. I would totally lurk her Facebook.
Yo, Chad, is Lasanabi still talking? They're begging me to react to it.
Like in real time?
Yeah.
Dude, Twitch is a wild world. Let's check it out.
Giving this guy more attention than I should. He's been calling me an incel since before I started streaming.
You think he's hot? Because I didn't even think of him like that, and then he said he was a himbo. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh, he's watching my podcast right now.
I feel like if he wanted to be viewed as a good looking guy, he should probably get rid of the beard and the hair. Like trying to make himself look like less hot. Maybe.
Are you reacting to my podcast right now? I don't want to react to myself reacting to myself.
Yeah. I feel like you should like watch it after and then maybe be able to like, I don't know. Like, what do you think you're talking about right here?
I'm talking about the sex party and how weird it was. In hindsight, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about a scenario where I was really traumatized and something that really freaked me out. And then looking back at like how many people will just bring that up to try to make you insecure. Probably should have talked about it, but the one thing that people have against me to try to expose me is something that I've talked about publicly. So it's like you can't really, that's all they got. There's something that I talked about.
That's why I feel like I've kind of like been able to get myself into a place where it's like hard to talk shit on me because I'll just air out
everything.
Whatever. Yeah, I just fucking like will say whatever the fuck I need to say about myself, like including stuff that's super embarrassing. You know.
Basically, I wanted to have an open relationship, but I thought it had to be open on both sides. And I wanted to supervise and I wanted to go to... I'm really tired of talking about this shit. This was like a long time ago.
So
like
you watched a dude fuck your girl?
Relationships ago. We couple swapped and then stopped. I stopped.
From my perspective, I've thought about it, never actually went through with it, but like I don't think it's that big a deal. I know a ton of people who do that shit. Because it's like it's an equal exchange, so I don't think I think it's like less likely to cause problems. I don't know. I never had the heart to go through with it. Not a fan of it.
Yeah.
You didn't like it? Yeah.
Nah, but Patrice said that like you should go do it just to see it and then you can get over that fear.
Yeah, I mean like, dude. Okay. All right, it's fucked up. I'll give you an example. At one point, this couple that I know, they were like, the girl's hot as shit. The dude's a fucking nerd, right? But I'm friends with both of them. The girl basically like suggested like, yo, like me, you, and Lena and my guy, we should swap. And I suggested it to her just in the idea of like, what would you think of this? She was like, are you fucking kidding me? You think that you're gonna get to fuck her and I'm gonna fuck him? And I'm like, that is fucked up because realistically, she's probably gonna want to get fucked. Like, if you were gonna find a good pair to swap with, you're probably gonna like need to have some some bodybuilder dude. Like, probably gonna end up being some porn dude God, I definitely don't want to do this.
Why do you
can't watch you get fucked with a 13-incher, dude?
Why? But if you think about it, it's the ego attachment of it. And do you really think your girl's gonna leave you for that guy?
Probably not, especially since I have a kid with her. Like, we're really pretty like locked in, right? But I don't think it's worth the risk.
No,
I think it would hurt my feelings too much.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings. I fucking hated it.
I'm glad you can be real about it because I
fucking hated it.
I tell it straight up. That's why I don't want to do it. It's because listen, girls we agree on. You think girls are hot. I think girls are hot. We want to fuck girls together. Cool, it makes sense. I don't want to fuck a dude. No. I know you think dudes are hot. You're a woman. You're a heterosexual woman.
Why are you pointing at me when you said that?
Not you, but like, you know, her. I know she thinks dudes are hot, but I don't want to see you get piped by a dude.
Bottom line.
We both think girls are hot.
I thought that I could have an ego that was strong enough to get past it.
Yeah.
Don't have it.
Hated it. I met a lot of people where the open relationship ruined their relationship.
It didn't ruin the relationship, and that's why I felt comfortable enough talking about it, because it was something minor. But a lot of people who don't have a lot of sex or don't understand like how to navigate an open relationship, that's what they latch onto. But if I was really that insecure about it, I wouldn't have talked about it on a podcast. The reason I talked about it on a podcast is it was just funny enough at that point that I was able to poke fun of something that made me insecure at the time. But also, for the dudes calling me, like, saying cuck, man, I did that shit for an open relationship. I did that shit so that I could start fucking other bitches, and I thought it would be fair. What you don't talk on a podcast, well, personally, what I don't talk about on podcasts is like how many threesomes you have, how I was able to have an open relationship, because bragging about like fucking other bitches is not something entertaining to listen to. Yeah. What's entertaining to listen to is the one time where I felt insecure, and then people can latch onto it. But that's the one thing that they're gonna have to talk about.
And it's like, you tried something, you're admitting that you didn't like it, and you're saying that you probably wouldn't do it again.
I definitely wouldn't do it again.
I mean, like, what are they, like, what could they...
Actually, I would do it again with the girl that I wasn't that invested with.
Yeah, okay, because, like, there's a porn star girl that I dated back in the day, kind of, like, sort of dated her. I told you, like, she used to bring girls for me or whatever. I mean, if she had been like, I know this girl, she got a boyfriend, and, like, we want to swap, I would be like, hell yeah, why not? Like, I don't fucking know this guy, but if he's cool, yeah, I'll fucking bang his girl, you bang him. I wouldn't care because I wasn't invested in her.
Yeah, but you still got to be around dick. I had a threesome last week, and we were with two like rotation girls, and we were at a bar, and then there was a guy there, and so now the girls are getting competitive. She's like, let me bring this other guy too, let's do a foursome. And then we're in the Uber going back to the spot, and the guy is like being weird, and so we all made eye contact, and the guy ended up leaving. But I don't think I would have been able to. I'd rather not be around that. I would rather just, like, I don't want to have to see balls.
Listen, I used to fuck girls with my homies when I was younger, for sure. No problem. Like, meet a girl, she's down to get fucked by the two dudes. Yeah, let's do it. Like, fucking for sure. But it was like my friends. I feel comfortable with them. I've spent insane amounts of time with them. Doesn't bother me. The idea of doing it with some, because, yo, I feel like mad dudes with a homo comes out once they get into the sexual position of, like, doing a threesome or doing, like, a orgy or whatever. Like, I feel like if a dude's a little bit gay, he might never give it off 99% of the time, and then he fucking gets into that situation where he's about to have sex and it just starts oozing him out of his paws. Like, I wouldn't want to be in any kind of sexual situation with a fucking dude I didn't know very well, right? Like that.
Have you ran a train before?
Yeah, like all the time when I was younger.
All the time?
Well, yeah.
How do you get over being around like dick and balls? That was the worst part about swinger parties, of being around naked men.
Yeah, it does sound kind of gross at this point in my life, but at that point in my life, I was so fucking horny that it was just like, whatever, like, we're getting some pussy? Fuck it.
Oh, this dude is saying, Pablo said, Sneako, stay vigilant, be careful who you are letting into your home. This is spiritual warfare. You are an enemy to the tyranny, therefore you are a target. Do not underestimate the enemy. The devil is in the details.
I'm pretty hyped that Pablo Escobar has like $200 to spend warning you about your soul.
There is a spiritual warfare going on. There is a spiritual warfare going on. And people like La Sanabi will talk about stuff like that instead of talking about the bigger picture, because the left needs to go at your character. They need to go at your insecurities, and they need to try to demasculate you instead of listening to the bigger thing that you're talking about.
I feel you. You know,
which is ironic, because they will always, like, they'll do slut walks and they'll talk about being inclusive and everything. And the first thing that they say instead of going at your argument, is call you gay, insecure, toxic, call you a dick rider.
Yeah.
It's really hypocritical. Calling someone a dick rider is homophobic.
Right. No, I know. It's so fucking lame. Like, all right. Like, and I'll even tell you something stupid that, like, a conversation I had recently where, like, I'm around a bunch of liberal people and they're all talking about how Republicans are such hypocrites because they say that they're anti-abortion, and in reality, if any of them, their daughter got pregnant, they would have an abortion. And, like, I'm like, why do you think that? Like, I totally agree that there's probably some percentage of Republicans who are hypocrites and they say they're anti-abortion, and in reality they would get an abortion for their daughter, whatever. I'm sure there's some chunk of them. But why are you incapable of assuming that people just actually feel different from you, especially in a situation like this where I'm pro-choice, but it's not hard for me to understand the opinion of people who think that you shouldn't kill a baby. You know, because we all actually agree at some point in the pregnancy it's wrong to kill the baby, right? Like the day
Most people don't.
The day before the baby comes out, bad call. We can all agree on that. The day that you get her pregnant, if she takes the birth control pill or whatever, or
that's not an abortion.
A week, yeah. Like, but let's say like 2 weeks later, if she gets an abortion, like what the fuck? Like I feel like most people would agree that that's cool. The only question is like legally what the number should be. And I'm around all these fucking liberals and just realizing like, you're not even dealing with the substance of the anti-abortion argument. You've never been forced to take it serious. And I was probably like that for a period of time too, but I've listened to plenty fucking podcasts of people who are anti-abortion talking about it, and I can see their side, and I can see how, you know, some level of understanding or meeting in the middle is the only way that this conversation is ever going to get settled.
How do you meet in the middle about abortion? Like two months, 2 weeks?
I think making it, like, figuring out a number that makes sense scientifically of what is cruel and what is empathetic to the child's health, or the, you know, like I feel like there's a period of time in the beginning that is reasonable to have an abortion, and there's a period of time later on that's not.
Chat, why are you spamming Nick versus Adam? Is Nick online? It's his birthday right now. Happy birthday, Nick, but he said he's busy right now.
People were warning me about Nick. They're like, let me know if you need any backup.
He's a debater.
Crazy. I don't know about him, so I would be really like out of my element if we got on here with him. Are you gonna do it with the guy who's called AOC a sexy Latina?
Bro, he's mad funny.
I listened to him with
Spicy Latina.
I listened to him with
my
Destiny.
favorite big booty Latina.
I would not want to debate him though. He was full of shit. He was like, you got Destiny trying to take the argument serious, and then he's just trying to be funny. I'm like, bro, this is a waste of fucking time.
I would like to talk to Lasanabi right now.
You guys like actually talk on him?
Nah, never. But all he does is call me an incel live. I've offered to debate him, and he doesn't want to. He's still reacting to this video.
The only thing I've like seen him say about me.
Chat, spam his stream. Let's say tell him to debate Sneako right now. So at least talk. Let's talk.
Don't get yourself jitty-oned. Remember?
Yeah, you're right.
Don't spam him.
Yeah.
Suggest calmly. But yo, the only thing I've seen him say about me in recent memory, or maybe ever, was I did a video where I took CHINAMAC to get vaccinated.
And you got the jab too?
I did, yes. And he
well,
said,
you voted for Hillary.
He said, and I would recommend that everybody at home get it too, but he said,
no,
this is the only good thing that this guy has ever done. So
why is it a good thing?
I take from that, well, he would agree with me that the vax is important, but he said that was the only good thing I've ever done. Now, what is his opinion of everything else I've ever done? I don't know. So I was curious about that. But
chat, I don't see anybody in Lasanabi's chat. Say talk with Sneako right now. Let's get on Discord.
I probably gotta leave soon.
You don't want to debate Lasanabi?
No, I don't care. But I gotta fucking do Joe Budden's podcast tomorrow, and I gotta go riding around before that, and then I'm gonna show up like a sweaty piece of shit and do Joe Budden's podcast. They're all dripping, all looking clean as fuck, and I'm gonna be in there just stinking.
It was a great time talking with you. I thought we were going to go for 1 hour. We almost did 3.
I know. I had a good time, dude. That was fun.
That was almost a Joe Rogan level podcast, 3 hours.
I'm going to be here till Monday in case you want to get any more sessions in.
And now he's playing It's Always Sunny. Bro, let me put this shit on the street. He's trolling me right now.
Why? This is trolling you?
You haven't seen this from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Orgy.
No, I love this show. This is...
Well, Chad, it goes to show that you should not talk about L's online because people will latch onto that forever. I thought it'd be funny. I thought people would think it was a funny story.
I got beat up, dude.
Yeah, you got a gun pulled out on you.
Yeah, and I had a fucking, I was getting a manicure and a dude fucking jumped me in a nail salon, just for example.
Pablo Escobar donated again, said, Sneako, see what I'm saying? LMFAO, the jab, dude's a clown.
I'll say this. Me and my girl both got COVID at the same time. I had been vaccinated and she hadn't. It was rough for me, but it was fucking hell.
Yo, chat, tell him I want to talk, man. Tell him I want to talk. We don't have to have a debate. We could have a healthy conversation. I'm tired of him reacting to my shit and not talking to me, bro.
Yeah, get in there.
You're not going to
get some
in,
views,
bro.
bro.
You're not going to get in.
Get some fucking views, man.
Chat, you want to see it, right? You want to see us talk. He's going to avoid it.
Maybe that's your name banned. I'm not really like seeing it in the chat.
Yeah, he probably, just mods probably banned it. Put Sneako. Just spell it differently.
Yeah. Write things that like rhyme with it.
I don't even have a Twitch account because if I did have one, they would ban me for life.
Really?
Yeah. For sure.
They think you're that bad?
For sure.
I feel like if I was like serious about Twitch, if I started talking about like politics or ideas, if I did anything besides just like playing poker, that they probably, oh yeah, I think I'm starting to see your name sneak in now.
You're not going to answer.
Because think about how weird it is that he's watching a video of you and your name isn't in the chat. Like even without you saying,
no,
hey,
they definitely banned it. You want to say? Let's see what you're saying.
If she's okay with you fucking other women, but you're not okay with her fucking
It's my problem. Like that at that point I realized like that's why I think everyone should do it. That's toxic masculinity. Like I should be able to get past that. You know,
no,
it's
not.
just sex.
It's just
Niggas
preference.
should not fuck your girl.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just
not.
it's a sex
not
party, bro.
It's normal.
It's just sex, bro. It's a party with the like if she wants to fuck somebody else.
It's a party with a what?
If she wants
It's a party with a cock in it?
No, with condoms, not cocks. Stop talking about
So, but are they
That's
switching
crazy.
condoms? Or like just one
What?
condom
you
for
switch
each-
condoms. You switch condoms.
Wait, what?
No, you don't.
No, like-
no, like if different people use different condoms.
I wonder if he does
Oh,
this
you
shit.
sure?
Yes.
You sure it's
Yeah,
crazy?
yeah.
I thought
Sneako.
you
He
get
said
one
he's queer.
condom for entry.
He's queer, he said?
I'm not sure.
What you're
Chad,
saying
can you
is
verify that?
willingly hold hands,
I did
walk
not know
through
that.
an entry room of niggas.
Bro, the third dude had to step in for this.
Chad,
Like,
where am I at?
there's
Where
a
am I in this
producer
chat?
back there, and a third person was like, "Give me the mic. Like, I need to be a part of this."
Go
Well,
fuck.
that's not the only thing that happened. Like the first time it was 3 pumps, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like this is too much. He's like, oh, okay. It's like
So why, if you keep going back, but you not fucking nobody?
so. Oh,
Okay, I gotta admit something here. Peer-to-peer podcast has more journalistic integrity than Jake Tapper. Okay, Jake Tapper talks to fucking John Bolton. Okay, and John Bolton's like, I did many coups d'etats, and Jake Tapper's like, oh, cool, let's move on. Peer-to-peer podcast hears about Sneako getting his girl fucked at a fucking orgy, and they're like, we need follow-up questions. We need to address the matter immediately. We are going to bring a
I mean,
cuck
obviously,
expert
if it was
into
that
the
much of a
fucking
problem,
fold.
do you think I would have
Like,
talked
they
about
literally,
it publicly on a podcast?
the residential orgy expert to be like, which orgy did he go to? Like, they need the blueprints of the building. They are doing actual journalism.
But he's just
It's
using
crazy.
this
Yeah, they
podcast
called
as a
an
way to
expert like
basically
Tom.
say that like CNN is bad. Or whoever.
well, okay. So it's more than just that. Like sometimes I'll be fucking her, and then like women will slide in and start sucking her titty and stuff like that. Like some girl will. Like,
Yo,
grab
bro,
me
let's
too.
talk.
Or, like,
Instead
some
of
girl
him
start
reacting,
licking,
why
like,
can't we just
walls,
have a
something like that.
conversation on the
It's run by
stream,
the
man?
AMP guys, of course, pure content. Just look at Kai's streams. No, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, like having multiple women, like 4 women. That's pretty dope.
So
That's-
why
that's
not? Why,
enjoyable.
but my point is, why not just set that? Why not let?
Chat, spell my name differently in his chat so we can talk.
That's what I want, and like she likes that too. But like that's not.
Okay, then.
You know, it's for her pleasure as well. She like likes dick. You know.
Okay, this is like, bro, this is like salvageable. He actually had, like, there's some parts where he's like, oh, it feels like I'm getting robbed. I didn't like it. But I don't know if he doesn't like it.
I don't
think
feel
he
like he's making
probably
fun of
likes it because he went to 2 in a row. But
kinda
then he's
like-
also talking about like her pleasure,
Yeah, you appreciate your open-mindedness.
which
No.
is like,
was a
you
hit
know,
piece.
he it seems like he cares about that. That's cool. That's a
You know.
Oh, she likes other niggas' dicks.
She likes penis. Period.
But no, I, get
I
that,
like
but
pussy, period,
I get
you
that,
know?
but you could specifically just give her more penis. What I'm saying is, she specifically want other penises.
I mean, she can go without it. Like after the first party when I was
you need to be following for an hour, and we have no overlapping audience to this one.
like she's like, I don't. No, it's okay. We don't need to do this anymore.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So why go
Yeah,
back?
I think this screams grifter to me because like he's aware of toxic masculinity. He cares about the sexual preferences of his girlfriend. Is literally willing to experiment. All of that is pretty mature.
Oh shit!
Like, actually,
is he actually being objective?
That he like, I think he wanted to come out and talk about it. He wanted to come out and talk about it, but then like he got a lot of pushback, and then when he got a lot of pushback, he felt like it was a shameful experience. You think he's making it up? No, I don't think he's making it up.
Yeah.
Because the second time, which is 2 days ago, like it wasn't as bad. It wasn't. I
2
saw
days
it.
ago, it's crazy.
Yeah,
So you're opening up more to this.
I'm less traumatized now. Yeah, and eventually, like those people see, like, yo, I talked to this one.
Yeah. His main channel was dying before this grifter shit. I think he recognized that this is an avenue and realized this is an avenue that he could like really, really fucking ham into, and it's a contradiction. Unlike many of the other incels, he's a good-looking dude. Unlike many of the other incels.
Do you see how dumb that is to call me an incel when I'm literally talking about an orgy party?
I think like that contradiction.
Hey, yo, chat, did he call me a good-looking dude?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm a big, beefy, 6'4", hairy Turkish dude.
6'4",
who talks about social justice and shit. Like it's almost like the opposite of that, and I'm white, so it's almost like the opposite of that.
He must be swimming
in a
in
weird
pussy.
way.
I'm gonna be real with you. Girls love this type
The
of shit
difference,
that
of
he's
course,
talking
is that
about.
I'm genuine, and I think
I don't know. I assume, but
I don't know if he's like I don't know if he's genuine. I think he like has some of those associations because we watched earlier videos of him where you could see it, where you could see how he behaved. Like I think he had some, because people were saying that he was like,
bro, they love psychoanalyzing me too much.
I was just thinking, it's
What the
wild that
fuck?
psychoanalyzing you is just standard content.
Dude, like they literally treat me like a movie character. They're trying to get in my head so fucking bad. These liberals cannot comprehend
so
me, bro.
funny.
Every day with this.
and then what ended up happening is I assume, somewhere along the line he like had some toxic qualities that he kind of leaned into, that he genuinely believed in, and now basically he is fully leaning into it because it's like working for him. You know what I mean? Like he read the room and it worked for him, so now he's doing it.
Old couple, they're both doctors, and they show up to all these parties. They go like,
Yeah, it's just they think it's a movie, like it's character development. They don't think, I don't know.
broken and everything, like smacked around. He's just watching, like, yeah. And then afterwards, they go home. They're in the car, and everything's fine. And I'm like,
But
how?
he likes that though.
He said he didn't like it at first, though. He said he didn't
Everybody
like
should have their own 9/11 to where he is now.
it at first.
They lead it. She nigga smacked
It's,
around
it's
my
all a
girl.
mental thing.
Yeah,
like, if,
somebody else smacks your girl, that's tough.
no, that was the big thing with the
I
first.
missed the older videos. You mean the podcast is a turning point?
Chad, he's too scared to talk to me.
I saw. We watched some of his videos. He had like some man on the street videos. I watched it like last year, and some of them were like a little weird. They were like a little incel-y. You know what I mean? I think he like asked people about like white people. He started like leaning into that whole like, I'm a non-white dude who is, saying things that white people want to hear about, like how fucking racist like non-white people actually are, shit like that.
First time, like, he smacked the shit out of her, and I felt pain. Like, oh, God. And, like, it was loud. And oof.
You could legally smack the fuck out of him. Like
It's
in
a
return.
sex party, though.
Yeah, I know, but he smacked her though.
Bro, like, that's the point.
what
You
she
guys
likes.
are going to all this
She
violent place.
around.
You're making it into, like, this whole possessive thing.
Yeah, he had like a whole, Patrick Cece goes into this. I didn't want to watch this before, but now that we watched the cuff thing, I might as well just watch this as well. At first I was like, I don't want to give him fucking clout, but I feel like he's having that. I think he's just using the same strategy as Andrew Tate to get his content around. I found 5 channels all with the same shorts with just different fonts, same as Tate. Yeah.
Dude, this is really fun, but I gotta fucking
gotta go.
God damn it, I hate it. I'm not leaving because I'm having a bad time. I'm leaving because I got mad shit to do tomorrow, but this was actually super fun.
Like
bro, for real.
originally, I know he was like,
No doubt. You
farming.
gonna come out this weekend to the BMX Jam? If you're free.
What day is it?
Like Saturday and Sunday.
I will let you know. I can't make a
Yeah, just
guarantee
let me
now.
know. But
and
for
usually
sure,
with dudes
shout
like
out to the
this,
whole Sneako gang.
unless they
Everybody
already
watch this. Appreciate y'all. You're gonna have a blast watching this. This is gonna be
Yeah,
hilarious.
this is gonna be.
Yeah, but shout out to everybody. Follow my Twitch, ADAM22.
No Jumper Podcast.
I stream like every 3 weeks, so probably not really somebody you'd want to follow, but you know,
It's good to have you on.
watch the shit.
I will, yeah.
I appreciate you, dog.
Yo, Cass, can you let him out?
Much love.
Thanks, man. Peace, bro.